Another narrow loss for the Lancaster Barnstormers here last night. The ball club has statistically done extremely well on its current road trip, outscoring the opposition 22 to 12 and playing well in every aspect of the game except winning games in the late innings. They're 0-2 in one-run games on this trip. They've won a couple of ball games by scores of 7-1. They need to win one of these next two to keep the Community Cup from getting away this weekend. York could clinch it tomorrow if the Revs complete a sweep of this three-game series. Good evening, everyone, from Peoples Bank Park, where after some heavy storms rumbled through this area late morning, it's a beautiful night in Central City, York, as the Barnstormers take on the Revs in Game 2 of this series. The Barnstormers will be sending Jared Lakin to the mound tonight, and Lakin, in his first year as a starting pitcher, has met with mixed results, but the bulk of his success has been on the road. He has 4 of his 6 quality starts, and certainly his 2 best starts of the season away from Clipper Magazine Stadium. Jared is 5-5 with a 5.49 earned run average overall. He's making his second start against York. He lost to them back in mid-June by a score of 6-4. His mound opponent tonight is right-hander Ricky Schaefer, a relative newcomer to the Atlantic League. He'll be making his 4th start for the Revs here tonight, his first against the Barnstormers. Schaefer comes in with a record of 2 wins and a loss and a 3.77 earned run average. One of the fascinating stories for the Barnstormers over the past couple of weeks is one of the new players, Gift Ngope. A couple of seasons ago became the first African-born player to make it to Major League Baseball. He did so with the Pittsburgh Pirates, his initial organization, and Gift's background is fascinating. How he got into the sport of baseball in South Africa is fascinating, and we'll be back with Gift in just a moment here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Just like a baseball team needs pitchers, sluggers, relievers, and coaches to win games, a fire company needs firefighters, drivers, fire police officers, and administrative help to be successful. Fire companies need to function as a well-oiled team, and through training, preparing, working together like a team in an emergency, your local fire company responds to help save lives and property. It's time you stepped up to bat to hit a home run for your local Lancaster County Fire Company. Go to becomeafirefighter.org, sign up, and take a swing for the fences. Join the Lancaster County Fire Service team.
Wow, season 15. Can you believe it? Gockenauer Appliance is proud to be back partnering with your Lancaster Barnstormers again this season, and has been since day one. We are also proud to be celebrating our 70th year of business this season, and wanted to thank all of you for your support in business over all these years. I'll be back after the Dugout Report to tell you about some great offers and giveaways we have for you during this 15th season of Barnstormers Baseball.
Welcome back to tonight's edition of the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout Report. Joining me is new Barnstormers infielder Gift Ngope. And Gift, a lot of sports to choose from, and growing up in South Africa, I mean, it's far more known, I guess, for soccer and golf and cricket. But how did you find baseball?
I found baseball. My mother worked at the place, the Randburg Mets baseball field, and I got taken from where I lived with my grandparents at a young age and moved over with her at about 2-3 years old, and I was playing on the field, throwing the ball against the wall, and one of the coaches came up to me and was like, "Hey, you got a good arm, wanted to join the team," and so that's how the love of baseball all started.
It's obviously not a really big or really popular sport in South Africa. What were the playing conditions like, and how were you able to grow and develop there?
Baseball was kind of big. There was a lot of players, a lot of teams. When I was younger, as we grew older, the kids that I grew up with all separated because of the 3 big major sports in South Africa, like cricket, rugby, and soccer. There's other opportunities. You have chances of going further, and now getting picked up to go play Major League Baseball. It's just not a very imaginable thing that some parents would want their kids to pursue. So it's like a recreational league. It's not too bad, but it's not good. So South African baseball in general has a long ways to go in order to be, recognized in the top 15 or the top 20 teams in the world for baseball. So yeah, I picked it up, and MLB Academy, who run the European and African camps in Italy, invited me to go there in 2007, got re-invited in 2008, and that's how I got picked up with the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah, I was going to ask how scouts found you.
Yeah, they found me in Italy in the MLB Academy, and they approached me in 2008, and they offered me a contract to play for the Pittsburgh Pirates in 2008.
I mean, you're somewhat of a groundbreaker. You're not the first kid who's from Africa to play professional baseball, but you're the first to get to the major leagues. So you've got to have hopes that there are a lot to follow.
I hope so. I mean, that was always my dream to, be the first Major League Baseball player from Africa to make it to the big leagues. And my dreams came true with determination and a lot of things on my journey. It wasn't easy, but I made it happen. And I was hoping that with the journey that I've had, the African kids have learned from what I've done and everything, and can pursue their dreams to play Major League Baseball one day. And hopefully I've inspired and given goals to people in Africa to pursue baseball.
Do you have kind of a hero status back home?
No. Only people that know baseball would know who I am. But other than that, I'm just a regular guy.
We've seen you play 3 different positions since joining the ball club. Do you have a particular favorite?
I mean, second base, shortstop, third base. I enjoy playing. As long as I'm out there on the field between the lines, I'm always game. I've always loved shortstop growing up. I mean, it's become second nature the way I move at shortstop. But second base has become more comfortable, as I'm getting older and everything. So as long as I'm between the lines, I'm going to give my heart out there.
You hit the ball pretty hard. I think I was a little bit surprised when you came in, the power you've shown, especially the ball you hit at Somerset the other night, the first night of that series, went a long way.
I mean, I do have power. It also gets me in trouble. If I try to get too big, that's when I get in trouble. I just got to stay within myself and just let everything work the way it should work, and, the results will come. I just got to focus on trying to hit the ball hard through the infield, line drive, gap to gap, and, now and again I'll get my home runs.
The flip side, a really nice hit and run single last night. You have no idea how much I love those, so it was great to see.
Yeah, I mean, 3-2 count. They started the runner, and I got a good barrel. I hit it on the right side. Obviously, the second base is covering, and leaves a hole there for me. And I was able to put a good swing on it on a pitch and drive it to right field. And we get a guy on third base, and he ends up scoring on a sac fly. So that's 1-0, 2-0 for the team right there.
Yeah, it looks like even with this not being the greatest of seasons, this is an easy ball club to fit into, and it looks like you have.
Yeah, I mean, I've played against a lot of these guys here, so we've developed some kind of relationship before I even got here. So especially like Todoslavich, I played with him with the Indianapolis Indians a couple of years ago. I faced Anderson growing up, and he was with the Blue Jays, and the Blue Jays and the Pirates play against each other a lot. So some of these guys I played against and developed some kind of relationship along the way. And coming here is like playing with friends.
Yeah, baseball it's a great community, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a great community. You can make a lot of friends and get to know different people from everywhere. People from Puerto Rico, Venezuela, Mexico, and then also from different states, Texas, Florida, and so forth and so on. So you get to meet a lot of people from around the world.
Well, Gift, thanks for joining us tonight, and good luck in this ball game, and get a couple base hits again.
Thank you very much.
Gift joining me tonight on the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout. We'll be back with the starting lineups for tonight's game in just a moment, right here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Adam Gockenauer back with you again to tell you about some of the great offers we have for you all season long. Stop in every day to register for a team-signed Barnstormers jersey. No purchase necessary. One lucky winner will win this very special jersey at the end of the season. Did you know we also have the best deals on the full line of Weber gas grills? Hey, mention this ad and receive free delivery on every Weber grill you purchase during the season. The best brands at the best prices. Gockenauer's in East Petersburg.
Enjoy baseball and stay in shape. The Lancaster Barnstormers have a great package for our more experienced fans to do both. The Silver Stormers package is open to all fans 55 and above. Get a ticket to all Tuesday home games. Take a walk around our beautiful stadium during the day on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And get a Silver Stormers t-shirt to sport to all of these events. The Silver Stormers is presented by A&E Audiology and Hearing Aid Center. Sign up today at the stadium or at LancasterBarnstormers.com.
Hope you enjoyed our conversation with Gift Ngope. He's a very engaging fellow, and glad he has found his way to Lancaster. The starting lineup for the Barnstormers tonight: Caleb Gindel will be leading off. He is in right field. Joe Trdoslavich will bat second and play left, and Andrew Applin will be in center field this evening, batting third. The designated hitter in the cleanup role is Destin Hood. Casey Hobson will bat fifth. He'll be at first base. The shortstop hitting sixth is Michael Martinez. Parker Morin has his turn behind the plate tonight. He will bat seventh. The third baseman hitting eighth is Melvin Mercedes, and our pregame guest, Gift Ngope, is the second baseman. He is batting in the number 9 slot. Jared Lakin on the hill. He comes in at 5-5 with a 5.49 earned run average. For the Revs tonight, fairly similar to last night, at least in terms of the personnel, not necessarily the positions. Justin Trapp will lead off, but tonight he is the designated hitter. Wellington Dotel batting second in right field. Telvin Nash will play first base this evening and will bat third. The cleanup hitter is the catcher, Isaias Tejeda. Carlos Franco will bat fifth and play third base. Melky Mesa, the left fielder, batting sixth. Angelis Nina is the second baseman, batting seventh. Ryan Dent at shortstop, batting eighth. And then in the number 9 position is the center fielder tonight for the Revolution, Zach Sullivan, who replaces James Skelton in the number 9 spot in the batting order. Skelton, of course, caught last night, and hence all the other in the York lineup this evening. As I said, the personnel largely the same, but the positioning is quite different from a night ago. The starting pitcher is Ricky Schaefer, who is not to be confused with High Point outfielder Richie Schaefer. Ricky Schaefer is a Californian who is making his 4th start here in the Atlantic League, a guy who has never played in a major league organization. That's the setup here tonight. The Lancaster Barnstormers taking on the York Revolution. Beautiful night for baseball here at Peoples Bank Park. We'll have play-by-play baseball for you coming your way next right here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Our umpiring crew is in place. Chris Engstrand will be working the plate this evening, receiving the signals from the automated system. David Snyder is the first base umpire. Frank Iarelli will be making the calls over on the third base side. Again, a splendid night here at Peoples Bank Park. They left the field uncovered earlier today. They took some rain, and neither team able to take BP, but I am told the field is in absolutely ideal shape for the ball game here tonight. The second game of a 3-game series will wrap it up tomorrow, 1 o'clock for the Sunday afternoon start. The Barnstormers return home for a 7-game homestand starting on Monday against the High Point Rockers, and then the Sugarland Skeeters will be following. And you know what that all means? That means Dave's going to be working from his preferred center booth at Clipper Magazine Stadium. So I'll feel like I'm back home in the booth that I occupied for the first 11 years of franchise history. You know, that's something I'm looking forward to, actually. I don't have the sun right in my face. But in any event, it is perfect here tonight. The wind is blowing out toward left field. Last night, the only home run that was hit in the ball game was off of the York starter, Duke Van Schamen. Anderson De La Rosa connected for a blast over the big wall in left field in the second inning. York's comeback largely built on doubles last night. The Revs had 4 two-base hits in the game, although only the last 2 factored in the scoring. Isaias Tejeda with a double to make it 5-2 in favor of the Barnstormers in the bottom of the 5th, and then Justin Trapp doubled in the 6th inning and would eventually score the tying run in that ball game. York going on to win 6-5. The Barnstormers 2-2 on the current road trip, 12-12 in their last 24 ball games, and it's the best stretch of 24 games that the Barnstormers have had this year, but especially in terms of runs scored and runs given up. They are plus 26 in those 24 games. Arguably, they should have a record better than 12 wins and 12 losses, but it's just the way things have broken down. The good news is that the Barnstormers are playing some very good baseball right now. What they do need to do is come up with a big play late in a ball game to be able to turn the scales into their favor. Well, the Revs are on the field, and it's time to send you down that way for tonight's opening ceremonies. The call of play ball goes out. The Lancaster Barnstormers and the York Revolution here tonight. And on the hill for the Revs is 6'2" right-hander Ricky Schaefer, a shaggy-haired, slender right-hander, 26 years of age. He hails from Mission Viejo, California, outside of San Diego. This will be his 4th start for the Revs, and there's been absolutely no middle ground so far for Schaefer. He has thrown 6 shutout innings twice in picking up victories, and in between, he was nailed for 6 runs in 2 1/3 innings, an early knockout. An overall 2-1 with a 3.77 earned run average for Schaefer, who was pitching in the semi-pro Empire League before the Revs were able to pick him up. Again, a slender right-hander. He throws from the far first base side of the pitching rubber. He'll be backed up defensively by Carlos Franco at third. The shortstop is Ryan Dent. Angeles Nina is the second baseman. Telvin Nash over at first. Melky Mesa is in left, with Kyle Sullivan, whom we have not seen before, in center field. Wellington Dotel is patrolling in right, and Isaias Tejeda doing the catching for the Revs here this evening. Again, it's mostly sunny with a light breeze blowing out toward left field as we get things underway tonight. Ross Peoples coaching over at third for the Barnstormers as we get the ball game underway, and it will be Troy Steffi making the trip over from Lancaster, coaching at first base. Troy is going to be spending a lot more time with the ball club on the road than he has all season. Of course, he's been in charge of putting together all the non-Barnstormers baseball events at Clipper Magazine Stadium. There have been a lot of those, but that season is pretty much over for the time being, and Troy is going to be able to travel with the ball club a little bit more than he has. Caleb Gindel leading off for the Barnstormers tonight. Gindel has reached base 13 games in a row. He has hits in 12 of those, batting .289 for the year with 14 home runs, and he has knocked in 70 for the season. Last night, Gindel was 1 for 4 with a peculiar sacrifice fly. First pitch gets away from Tejeda, and it looks like he and Schaefer got crossed up. It's simply ball one inside, 1 ball and no strikes. The count to Gindel. Caleb has just very strong overall numbers over the course of this season. Terdoslavich on deck, a switch hitter, and then the center fielder Andrew Applin, a left-handed batter all the way, as is Gindel. Next pitch down and in, ball 2, and Gindel well ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Caleb is the Barnstormer club leader in drawing the base on balls. League-wide, he is now 4th. 57 walks for Gindel on the season. The 2-0 pitch taken inside and low again from Schaefer, and ball 3. And the Barnstormers with the opportunity to get the leadoff man on here tonight. We talk about Gindel being on base fairly regularly in the last 13 games, game in and game out, but he's not had too many multi-hit games as of late. He'll get ball 4 up and away. A 4-pitch walk starts the night. The Barnstormers with their leadoff man on. Gindel is not a base stealer. The reason that Ross has him in the leadoff position right now is because of his high on-base percentage. So he is aboard. Joe Terdoslavich steps in. Terdoslavich batting .310 with 17 home runs, 60 runs batted in. Joe was 1 for 3 in the ball game last night and hitting .400 over the last 24 games. Very short lead for Gindel. Here's the pitch to Terdoslavich, and that just misses. It is ball 1. 1 ball and nothing. Schaefer looked in rather quizzically after that last pitch. The 4 to Gindel were clearly out of the zone. That one was at least in the neighborhood. The set, the 1-0. That's a called strike high on the inside corner. And Terdoslavich bats at 1-1. Schaefer locating the range after missing with his first 5. Center fielder Andrew Applin waits on deck. Applin on another hitting streak. Terdoslavich as well is on a streak. He's batted safely in 7 in a row. 1 ball, 1 strike. The set and the pitch. Terdoslavich goes after a high offering, bouncing it foul past Troy Steffi. A ball and 2 strikes. Isaias Tejeda behind the plate tonight has done something that I'm not sure I've ever seen a baseball player do. He's gone completely sleeveless. His shoulders and underarms bare behind the plate. Swing and a miss. Terdoslavich has gone on strikes. 1 away here in the top half of the first inning. Andrew Applin, the center fielder, will come to the plate. Applin at .311, 4 home runs, 24 runs batted in. Andrew has batted safely in 24 of the last 25 games. He really hasn't had many big games in there, but he picks up a hit or two per ball game. 6 for 17 in a current 5-game streak. 1 out, 1 on. Delivery is down and into him. Ball 1 from Schaefer. 1 ball and nothing. But in the last 25 games, he's hit .372 and driven in 19 runs. Came up just 1 shy of the franchise record hitting streak. It was snapped a week ago last night by the Ducks. Now he hits a towering fly ball down the right field line. Playable. Wellington Dotel is there. He'll make the catch. Second out of the inning. And Destin Hood, the designated hitter, will come to the plate. Hood is batting .252 with 7 home runs and 27 runs batted in. Schaefer seems to have found something since coming to York. He's pitched in the Pacific Association. We mentioned the Empire League, and his numbers have never been good. But here with the Revs, he has dealt the ball quite well. We'll see what the Barnstormers can do the second time through the order. Gindel still at first. Here's the pitch to Hood, and that is rolled foul. No balls and a strike. Peculiar things happen like that. And it just shows, and I pointed this out often, how narrow the margin is between guys who get to the major leagues and guys who are in the lower level circuits. There's really not a tremendous difference. To Hood, it slides past the outside corner, a ball and a strike. And I compare it to these people making millions of dollars in the entertainment business and the folks in your community theater who are almost, as far as I'm concerned, as talented. Breaking ball is in the dirt. It bounces free from Tejeda, and Gindel will take the opportunity to head to second. That should be a wild pitch charged. It is. And the Barnstormers move a runner into scoring position. Meanwhile, Destin Hood has the advantage of 2 balls and a strike. And just as I love coming to minor league baseball games, minor league hockey games, I enjoy community theater, and I've never gone to Broadway. But the missus and I will attend a community theater play a couple times during the off season. 2 balls, 1 strike to Hood. Schaefer to the set. Here's the pitch. Destin lifts a foul over on the first base side. Chasing it toward the seats is Nash, but he'll have no play. Hood's alive at 2-2. Destin 0 for 4 here last night. And one of the rare games that Hood has had where he hasn't hit a ball on the nose someplace. I don't even remember a foul ball that he really hit all that hard last night. Typically, once a night, he screams a ball in some direction. Sometimes low, sometimes high. 2 balls, 2 strikes here. Gindel leads off second. Schaefer comes to the set. The pitch to Hood. He jumps back out of the way of ball 3. A full count. Casey Hobson, the first baseman, waiting on deck. Hobson drove in a run in the first inning a night ago with a double. Hood trying to pick up the first run of the night. 3 balls, 2 strikes the count to Hood. Here's the pitch. Destin gets the walk, and he'll go to first base. It's up to Hobson. Casey, a .210 hitter with 14 home runs, 54 runs batted in. Trying to get a streak going. He has batted safely in 3 in a row, 1 hit each game. Caleb Gindel at second. Destin Hood is the runner at first base. Ricky Schaefer has picked up a couple of quick outs tonight, and he has also walked 2 batters here in the opening inning. Hobson trying to get the Barnstormers into the lead. Schaefer will work from a low set. The pitch to KC, cut on and fouled back off the end of the bat. It looked like he was around a little bit too early. No balls, 1 strike to Hobson, who apparently has been selected as the K-man tonight. Shortstop Michael Martinez due next for the Barnstormers. Lancaster trying to take advantage of an early opportunity this evening. Shadows have crept out past the pitcher's mound, almost to second base. Base runners are in the sunlight. And there are two of them. To Hobson, 0-1, swinging a foul at the plate. He got himself in the foot, and KC will have to hobble that one off. No balls, 2 strikes to Hobson. Gindel and Hood have picked up the bases on balls here in the opening inning. For Gindel, it's commonplace. For Destin Hood, not so much. Destin drawing only his 4th walk since joining the Barnstormers. He's a pretty free swinger. 2 strikes that count to Hobson, trying to do damage here in the first inning. Schaefer peering in, getting the sign from Asias Tejeda. Runners lead off first and second. Here's the offering, and Hobson pops it up into foul territory, sprinting back to Tejeda. He'll have a play, and he makes the catch just before reaching the screen. Hobson fouls out to end the inning for the Barnstormers. No runs, no hits, no errors. They strand 2 at the end of a half inning. Lancaster nothing. York is coming up. Lancaster Bible College has been around since 1933, but did you know that they offer degrees in much more than just Bible? LBC offers degrees in criminal justice, business, professional counseling, and more, as well as graduate and seminary degrees in areas like Christian care, chaplaincy, education, and leadership studies. To learn more about LBC and the programs they offer, visit lbc.edu. That's lbc.edu.
Picking one thing over the other can be hard.
Toast or avocado toast?
Ooh, 4 or 5-inch heels.
But with Pick Games from the Pennsylvania Lottery, drawn twice daily, picking's as easy as 2, 3, 4, or 5. Plus, add Wild Ball to any Pick game for even more chances to win. It's simple.
Hey, what'll it be? Give me a pick 2, please. Oh, and add Wild Ball. I'm feeling pretty lucky.
Play Pick Games today from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
The start tonight for the Barnstormers goes to Jared Lakend. It's his 18th of the season, along with 4 relief appearances. Lakend has thrown 95 innings overall, 102 hits allowed. He's walked 48, struck out 66. 5-5 the record with a 5.49 earned run average. 6'2 left-hander from Cypress, Texas. 27 years of age. Facing designated hitter Justin Trapp leading off. Trapp at 294 on the year. And Lakend's first pitch, good for a strike at the knees. It's 0-1. Lakend's best starts have come at Long Island. He has had a couple of terrific performances at Bethpage Ballpark. We'll see how he fares here in York. He has faced the Revs at Clipper Magazine Stadium and did not have a terrific outing. He gave up 5 hits and 5 runs in 5 innings. Swing and a miss. Down goes Trapp, and Lakend off to a flying start with a 3-pitch strikeout. Wellington Dotel, the right fielder, will step in. Dotel last night was theoretically perfect, though not technically. He had a sacrifice bunt, a sacrifice fly, and went 3 for 3, but he really was the engineer of the comeback for the Revolution. He was involved in 4 of their 6 runs last night. The Lakend pitch, high chopper left side, charging in Martinez. He'll throw on the run, and he has Dotel 2 outs here in the first inning. Nicely done by Michael Martinez. And Dotel, for the first time in the series, tastes an 0 for 1 at bat. 2 gone. Telvin Nash now will step in. When Lakend faced the Revs in a ball game which York won by a 6-4 margin, back on July the 5th. He gave up home runs to both Dotel and Nash. He has to face them back-to-back in the lineup tonight. 2 outs, nobody on, no score. Bottom half of the first inning from Peoples Bank Park. The wind, the pitch, and a breaking ball gets to the outside edge. 0-1 on the Big Bopper Nash. 32 home runs on the campaign for Telvin Nash. He's 2 away from the franchise record with 5 weeks left in the season. So you would think he should reach that. Way outside past Parker Morin into the backstop. Nash isn't going. Why would he try to collect the Z when he could hit a home run still on the at-bat? It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Been told by the folks here in York, they have not seen one. They have not seen a guy take off for first base at all. 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 outs. Lancaster left 2 base runners on in the opening inning. Lakin comes back. Nash with a bounder foul. And Anuel Polanco will make the play on it and get a couple of Juice Gums points. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on. Nash with 3 of his home runs against the Barnstormers. A .417 hitter in the season series. He was 1 for 4 with a single and a walk last night. He scored 1 of the runs. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball just fouled off. Nash continuing to battle Lakin. Dotel, Nash, and Tejeda. The 2, 3, and 4 hitters in this York lineup tonight are guys who never succeeded at any high level of a major league organization. They were all single A or double A guys. But here in the Atlantic League, they're all all-stars. Again, it's kind of bizarre how that all shakes out. And you never know until somebody shows up. 1-2, a dribbler, and that's foul. Lakin making the play, springing off the mound to do so, but it clipped off of the inside of Nash's foot first. It continues at 1-2. Barnstormers had an opportunity in the top of the inning, but a foul pop-up got Ricky Schaefer out of trouble. 1-2, swing and a line drive out the left. Charging over is Terdoslavich. It's by him into the wall. Nash is going to make the charge for second base. Relay throw, and the tag applied by Ngope. They get him. 7-6-4, the out on Nash, and Lakin is clear of the first inning. A single, but he's out trying to stretch it into 2. In the inning, no runs on a hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. We're through 1 tonight here in York, and there is no score.
Tuxedo Tour and Travel, your go-to motor coach bus company. Supplying your motor coach needs from day trips to multi-day excursions. Trips to New York, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., San Francisco, and all points in between. We can provide you with an itinerary or fulfill all your trip's transportation needs, providing casino trips monthly. Go to www.tuxedotour.com or give us a call at 717-269-3124.
There's a new force in town. Know any young baseball fans? Make sure they're a part of the Storm Force Kids Club presented by Commonwealth Charter Academy. For only $25, kids receive 12 field box tickets. To go with the tickets, the Storm Force members will get a backpack, a t-shirt, an invitation to Silo's birthday party, and a chance to meet Barnstormer players over a bowl of ice cream, plus a lot more. What's better than that? Sign up at LancasterBarnstormers.com or stop by the stadium to get those kids involved.
No score. We go into the second inning. Ricky Schaefer walked 2, but the Barnstormers were not able to light him up for a base hit in the first inning. And then in the bottom of the inning, a nice relay cutting down Telvin Nash, who was looking to work himself into scoring position. 7-6-4 went the out. It was a good relay throw from Martinez. He got rid of it in a hurry, feeding in Gope perfectly. And the tag was laid on. Here's Martinez leading off the second. Michael taking a pitch down and in for ball 1. Martinez batting .253. He was 0 for 4 here last night. Michael has 5 home runs, and he has knocked in 32. The 1-0 offering. This is inside for ball 2, 2-0. His favorite ballpark, at least for hitting the long ball, isn't Clipper Magazine Stadium, although he's had a couple there, but it's High Point. And he's sent a couple missiles out of BB&T Point, where it's 339 down the right field line. Called strike. Make it 2-1 to Martinez. Morin and Mercedes will follow. York will get its first look at Melvin here tonight, as he plays third base in Ross's lineup. 3-1, again, inside and low to Martinez, and this at bat is looking a little similar to the one that Caleb Gindel had starting off the night. 3-1. And high and outside ball 4, with the exception of the one pitch in the zone. It was nearly an identical pattern. And Martinez is aboard to start the second inning. It'll bring on the left-handed batting catcher Morin. Parker .252 with 3 home runs, 14 runs batted in. He's hoping to mirror the success that Anderson De La Rosa had at the plate last night. De La Rosa hit the ball hard all 4 times up. A home run, a single, a deep fly out to right center. And then his final trip, he lashed a ball back off the body of Cesar Cabral, and it deflected to Ryan Dent, who just retired De La Rosa at first base. Here's a pitch to Morin, high and tight. Ball 1, no strikes. Schaefer has walked 3 and served up a wild pitch. The Barnstormers haven't been able to square anything up to this point. Martinez, 5 stolen bases in 5 tries. Is he thinking about going here? He is not. And to Morin, an off-speed pitch for a strike. 1-1 on Parker. You can compare De La Rosa and Morin all day, and the end result is they're both pretty good, and I don't think the Barnstormers have an advantage with one over the other in any given game. That's why they alternate. Fastball upstairs, 2 balls and a strike. The club plays about evenly with either guy back there. De La Rosa's had a little bit more of a potent year offensively. Two and 1. Martinez again leading. He stays put. Morin with a foul back over my head and up toward the upper level of the stadium. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the Lancaster receiver with Melvin Mercedes waiting on deck. Now, this is a lineup that has Gindel, Martinez, Mercedes, and Ngope, 4 guys who are not terribly tall. Smaller strike zones. 2-2. Morin awaits. Martinez isn't going anywhere, and Parker yanks that ball out the right field, but Dotel had him played perfectly. He races back toward the corner and makes the catch. That is out number 1. Hardest hit ball by a Barnstormer tonight. Here is Melvin Mercedes, the switch hitting third baseman, batting .250 with 4 runs driven in. Well, that ball was hit hard by Morin. He has to be a bit disappointed where Dotel was playing. Morin was being played to pull, and he was being played deeply. And Dotel had to sprint over about 5 paces toward his left and back 1 or 2 to reel that one in. Hit very well by Morin. Now to Melvin, a strike on the inside corner. It's 0-1. Mercedes Has 2 doubles among his 19 hits as a Barnstormer. Infield is set up, double play depth here. Martinez leading off first base. The set and the pitch. Looper into right center. That is down for a base hit and a long way to go for Dotel to get it. Martinez will have no trouble getting all the way to third. Mercedes on with a single. The Barnstormers have runners at first and third with nobody out for Gift and Gope. Mercedes coming up with the first Lancaster hit of the night. The Barnstormers have reached double figures all 4 games on this road trip and also the finale of the last homestand, though they have never really piled on the hits. They have 10 3 times and 11 twice, but the offense has been very steady here the last few days. Now it's up to Ngope to get a run home. Gift at .286 with 3 home runs, 6 runs batted in. Martinez leading off third, Mercedes off first, and to Gift the ball inside and low. 1-0, and Ngope 2 for 4, both singles in last night's game, and 5 out of 15 on the trip. Two home runs at Somerset. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the motion and the offering. That ball is tattooed to left center field and deep. That will get through into the gap and bounce over the wall into the screen for a ground rule double. And Gope drives in Martinez. Mercedes forced to stop at third as the ball scaled the 8-foot-high wall in left center, bouncing into the screen in front of the carousel. And Gope with the RBI double. Lancaster has taken the 1-0 lead here tonight. Mercedes to third. That brings on the top of the order and Caleb Gindel. And he's batting with runners at second and third. 1 out. Gindel, the man who has driven in a runner from third base with less than 2 outs 88% of the time. And he prides himself on it. Defense is back. Here's the pitch by Schaefer. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Gindel is down a strike. It's 0-1. It's unfortunate that the double by Ngope jumped over the fence into the screen. Ultimately, tough to tell whether Mercedes would have been able to score on it or not. But I think Ross was about ready to wave him when the ball jumped over the fence. To Gindel 0-1. Breaking ball again, swing and a miss. And Caleb trails, no balls and 2 strikes here. Joe Turdoslavich awaiting his turn. He's in the on-deck circle. Gindel just looking to get Mercedes home from third base at the minimum. Scoring in Ngope as well would be Gravy. The 0-2. Fastball almost hit him. And it's ball 1 and 2 strikes. Schaefer walked Martinez leading off the inning. The last 3 batters have hit the ball pretty well. Mercedes singled the softest of the 3. Gindel awaits the 1-2. Schaefer checking the lead runner, ready to go, and Caleb bounces a foul behind Trey Steffi. He stays alive with a count of a ball and 2 strikes. Lancaster again scoring the first run of a ball game. It's the 50th time this season, nearly half the games, that the Barnstormers have accomplished that. 1-2 again to Gindel. The right-hander brings it home. Caleb started to reach for it, laid back, and ball 2 is up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Schaefer has been in trouble both innings, more so here in the second. And he has given up the game's first run. Gindel backing away momentarily. Mercedes up the line from third, and Ngope leads off second. Schaefer goes to work. 2-2 on Gindel. That is inside, ball 3. First base is open, so Schaefer does not have to serve up a cookie here by any stretch of the imagination. He could use the open base to try and set up a double play. They may work off speed to Gindel. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the motion and the pitch. It is tapped foul, just eluding the grasp of Tejeda. Gindel will stay in there at 3-2. Fighting to get a second and maybe a third run home here. If he gets the walk, he'll take it. Bring up Terdoslavich. 3-2. Schaefer deals again. Gindel pops it up down the left field side. Charging over is Mesa, and the ball bouncing in foul territory. He had to pull up down around the Barnstormers bullpen mound. Gindel alive at 3-2. Last night in the second inning, he had Darian Sanford at third base. Caleb popped the ball up down by the York bullpen chairs. Isaias Tejeda made the catch going away from home plate, and that's all it took to spring Sanford loose. Darian able to score with relative ease. 3-2. The count to Gindel. The infielders are back here. Here's the payoff pitch. Gindel gets the walk. Ball 4 is inside and low. That will not count against his record. Terdoslavich will bat with the bases loaded. Joe went down on a swinging third strike on a breaking ball back in the first inning. But now he's got the RBI opportunity. Bases loaded last night. Terdoslavich came up with a sacrifice fly to left field. He is 3 for 7 with the bases loaded on the season. Mercedes at third and Gope at second. Gindel ultimately never got a pitch to hit there, and he is the runner on at first, drawing his 59th walk of the season, which now ties him for second in the league. Bases are chock full of Barnstormers. To Terdoslavich, it's upstairs. Ball 1 and no strikes. Schaefer having trouble keeping his stuff in the zone. This has been a fairly long inning for the young right-hander. Terdoslavich looking to make it a little bit longer. York's going to get action in the bullpen. To Terdoslavich, ground ball down the line at first, foul. Nash was playing pretty much right on the stripe. He would have had it had it been fair. 1 ball, 1 strike to Joe T. Second on the ball club with 60 runs batted in for the season. One and one. Schaefer comes to the plate. Terdoslavich screams a foul off the fencing in front of the York dugout. We go to 1 and 2. Andrew Applin in the on-deck circle. The Barnstormers hitting as a team just below 300 with the bases loaded. Terdoslavich, by the way, tied for 7th in the league in ribbies. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Terdoslavich with a swing and a foul tip. Tejeda couldn't quite hold on to it. Terdoslavich fortunate to be alive here in the second inning. Gindel had a similar 2-strike foul tip that Tejeda dropped. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. It's a right-hander, Philip Walby, warming up in the bullpen for the Revolution, as Schaefer is having a hard time with the strike zone. He's walked 2 in each inning. Lancaster needs a big hit here. Terdoslavich batting at 1 and 2. Mercedes at third and Gope at second. Gindel at first. 1-0 Lancaster here in the second. And now Terdoslavich has one busted in on the wrists. He fouls that off as well, up into the screen. He'll stay in at a ball and 2 strikes. Mercedes still has not scored. Held up by the ground rule double off the bat of Ngope. You at least want to get that run home or you feel cheated. 1-2. Terdoslavich goes after a breaking ball and lifts this to center, not all that deep. Zach Sullivan is there. He will make the catch. Martinez begins to tag, pulls up, and a good thing is Sullivan uncorked a very good throw. Terdoslavich unable to get the run home, and it's up to Applin. Applin fly to right field back in the first inning. The Barnstormers left 2 runners on in the first, and they've got the bases loaded now with 2 outs here in the second inning. Terdoslavich so far has had fits with Schaefer. Applin now needing to get something accomplished, or the Barnstormers will be left wanting here in the second inning. And Gope is driven in the 1 run. Schaefer to Applin, breaking ball inside and low, 1-0. Destin Hood waits on deck. One ball and nothing. And Applin swung on, lined straight at Dotel, but it's going to fall in front. He may have been blinded for a second. 1-run scoring. The throw on the second runner, and Gope is cut off ahead of the plate by Tejeda. On to third goes Gindel. Applin comes through with a 2-run single. And the Barnstormers now enjoy a 3-0 lead with Destin Hood coming to the plate. Dotel sprinting in, looked for a moment like he was going to have a play, and then he pulled up. The ball fell in front. Applin drives in 2. Hood walked his first time up and looking to extend the Barnstormers' lead here in the second inning. Ricky Schaefer giving up his 3rd hit of the inning. He's down 3-0, facing Hood with Casey Hobson waiting on deck. Here's the pitch to Destin. Beautiful breaking ball across for a strike, and it's 0-1. Andrew Applin with his 25th and 26th runs batted in as a Barnstormer. He sits safely in 25 out of 26 games. That's a pretty incredible pace. To Hood, another breaking ball popped up right near home plate. Tejeda sheds the mask. Hood trying to get out of his way, and he does, and Tejeda makes the catch. Both innings have ended with a foul pop-up to the catcher. But the Barnstormers in this go-around score 3 on 3 hits with no errors. 2 are stranded, and at the end of 1.5, the Barnstormers are up 3-0.
This is Hall of Famer Carlton Fisk. Make your plans today to visit Cooperstown and the Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum.
There it goes, the long drive. If it stays fair, home run.
Reconnect with your memories of the game and make new memories with your family. Check out baseballhall.org today for more information.
Carlton Fisk had a lot of little boy in him right there, Joe.
The National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum, preserving history, honoring excellence, and connecting generations.
Just like a baseball team needs pitchers, sluggers, relievers, and coaches to win games, a fire company needs firefighters, drivers, fire police officers, and administrative help to be successful. Fire companies need to function as a well-oiled team too, through training, preparing, and working together like a team. When an emergency occurs, your local fire company responds to help save lives and property. Maybe it's time you stepped up to bat and offered to hit a home run for your community. Go to becomeafirefighter.org and sign up. You won't regret taking a swing for the fences. Join the fire service team.
We are right where we were last night at the end of an inning and a half with the Barnstormers up 3-0. For York here in the second inning, Isaias Tejeda, Carlos Franco, and Melky Mesa will step in against left-hander Jared Lakin. Jared looking for his 6th victory of the season. John Anderson, the club leader, at 8. And in will step the man making a fashion statement here tonight, Isaias Tejeda, .349 hitter with 16 home runs and 66 runs batted in. had the decisive blow last night with an RBI single in the 6th inning. He had doubled in a run the previous inning. Well, he was the other architect of the rally, along with Dotel. Mesa had a 2-run single in there. First pitch from Lakin is a strike at the knees. Same way he started off Trapp last inning. Well, the sleeveless wonder, Isaias Tejeda. I can't remember ever seeing a baseball player in a game with no sleeves. Batting practice, of course. Down low for a ball, 1-1. A lot of guys cut off the sleeves of their batting practice shirts. It goes along with the popular saying, sun's out, guns out. Football players do it. Swing and a miss by Tejeda. Sharp breaking ball by Jared Lakin. Tejeda should be charged with attempted murder on the swing, but he missed it entirely. 1-2. He did his best to launch that ball to the other side of the creek bed. Lakin at 1-2. Tejeda takes low. It's knocked down by Morin. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 3-0 Lancaster. Bottom of the 2nd inning. RBI double for Gift and Gope and a 2-run single for Andrew Applin in the top of the inning. They've been a couple of great midseason acquisitions for manager Ross Peoples. Here comes the 2-2. Tejeda hits this in the air to the right side. That will get to the seats. The count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Leadoff batter here in the 2nd inning. Carlos Franco waiting patiently on deck. The 6th pitch of the at-bat is forthcoming. Lakin deals, and this is popped up as well, but this will stay in play. And Gope calls off Hobson. Gift staggering back toward the center of the field, makes the catch. Tejeda retired, 1 gone. Carlos Franco, the 3rd baseman, stepping in. I heard from one of our fans that the interview with Gift and Gope earlier tonight was enjoyable. He is a very, very likable fellow. And all the time that I was speaking with him doing that interview, I started thinking, boy, wouldn't it be great to have a number of other athletes from the African continent choose baseball? First pitch is low, ball 1 and no strikes, because my mind always drifts in that direction. I'd love it if most great athletes chose baseball over other sports. Outside and low, 2-0. But then we'd have a glut. What I'd like more is for baseball to become even more international. Maybe South Africa will become a force in the World Baseball Classic in upcoming years. 2-0. Lakin deals. That is cut on a miss by Franco, who's having to deal with a left-handed starter for the 2nd night in a row. 2 balls and a strike from Jared Lakin. Franco was hitless last night against Nate Reed, and then his last trip was against Matt Marksberry. Smash to short. 1 hop, gloved by Martinez. The throw will cut down Franco. 2 outs. Melky Mesa, the left fielder, will step in. Mesa batting .302 with 15 home runs. The baby shark. He's another one of those guys, and I mentioned this last night, that just seems to have so much fun playing this game. And it seems through absolutely no intent of mine, but every guy we brought up in that light this year, the guys we've had a lot of fun calling on Blue Ridge 11, the Espinals, Hervasios, I believe they're all from the Dominican Republic, where, of course, they grow up playing the game. It's so much a part of the life down there, and they enjoy it. Hopper left side, Mercedes will cut it off. Melvin fires on. A 1-2-3 inning for Jared Lakin, a fairly routine one. In the bottom half of the 2nd inning, at the end of 2, Lancaster's up 3-0.
Don't strike out when in need of new appliances for your home. Come to Gockenauer's in East Petersburg and see what buying from a hometown dealer is all about. We offer the best brands at the best prices, plus deliver, install, and service everything we sell. Don't get burned by another chain store taking your money and then going out of business. Come to the place who has been helping Leicester County for 70 years. Your hometown dealer making the best brands better. Gockenauer's in East Petersburg.
The constant energy, the tight turns and bustle of the city. Some survive it, others were made to conquer it. The first ever Lexus UX and UX F Sport crossovers, crafted for the new frontier. UX, starting at $32,000. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
MSRP excludes delivery, processing, and handling fee of $1,025, which may be subject to change at any time. Excludes taxes, title, license, and optional equipment. Dealer price will vary.
Casey Hobson, Michael Martinez, and Parker Morin stepping in against Ricky Schaefer as we hit the third inning of baseball tonight with the Barnstormers ahead 3-zip. Hobson fouled to the catcher back in the first inning. Schaefer into his motion. KC scalds one foul. A missile, but well out of play down the right field line. It is 0-1. That seems to be where Hobson is right now, and that is coming around too early. The pitch to him into the dirt, a ball and a strike. 54 pitches already tonight for Ricky Schaefer. He's given up 3 hits and 4 walks. It took the clutch 2-run single by Andrew Applin to give the Barnstormers a decent-sized lead last inning. Big curveball misses. Not by much. It's 2-1. That was the old 12-6, slow it down, roundhouse, Bert Blyleven-ish curveball. Ball 3 into the dirt to Hobson. Schaefer's walked the leadoff batter each of the first 2 innings. He's gotten himself in trouble. Gindel drew that walk to start the ball game. Michael Martinez last inning. Now he's 3-1 on Hobson. Peering in, getting the sign from his battery mate Tejeda, the pitch, and Hobson cranks another foul. Deep, but at a wide angle from the foul line along the first base side. 3-2. Payoff pitch coming to the Barnstormers' first baseman. It's on its way, a swing and a miss. Hobson gone on strikes. And the folks here in York will get their mozzarella sticks. 1 out. Shortstop Michael Martinez will come to the plate. He walked and scored back in the second inning. Hobson crushed the ball twice on that plate appearance, but he was so far out ahead of it that it left the ballpark at probably a 20-degree angle to the foul line. Inside for a ball, 1-0 on Martinez. All the tracking data that players are getting will seem to be on the pitching side. 1-0, off speed and in for a called strike, 1-1. Parker Morin waits on deck. Breaking ball spins to the outside corner. There again, that big looping curveball that Schaefer has broken out with here in the third inning. He has Martinez 1-2. Michael awaits a swing and a foul tip. Chased up the third base side by Tejeda. It is still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lancaster up 3-0 here in the third inning. Trying to reignite the offense. Martinez looks at ball 2 off the inside corner. So another deep count for Ricky Schaefer, and action has started again in the York bullpen. 2-2, breaking ball, bounced foul by Martinez, and a good play from someone leaning out of the York dugout. I can only tell you about 10 guys that was not. I couldn't tell you who it was. Bounder foul again. Martinez hanging tough against Schaefer at 2-2. Hobson struck out on a 3-2 pitch earlier in the frame. 1 out, nobody on. Morin on deck. Parker Morin should get a soft base hit this time up, just to be fair. 2-2. Another ground ball pulled foul and another good play leaning out of the York dugout. Different fellow. That may be tomorrow's starter. It looks like he has a chart in hand. Eusebio. Martinez now a bouncing ball. This one is fair. The second baseman Nina with the play. Guns down Michael Martinez. 2 outs. Parker Morin stepping in. Morin out on a deep line drive back in the second inning. Lancaster with the 3-0 lead, but a lesson to be learned from last night's game against York: you must keep your foot on the accelerator. The ball games are, to this point, going along in somewhat similar fashion, although the Barnstormers have scored their runs differently here tonight. 2 outs and a Morin. There's that huge curveball again. This time it looks like 68 miles per hour. It's ball 1. It stayed outside. Morin crushes another ball down the right field line, and this one is past Dotel into the corner. Parker Morin darting for second base. He'll be in standing with a 2-out double. He hit it lower and he hooked it more, and Dotel could do nothing about this one. Morin in with the stand-up double, his 10th two-base hit of the season. Melvin Mercedes, 1 for 1 tonight, steps in. The bottom of the order has done extremely well against Ricky Schaefer. Morin has hit the ball hard twice, and Gope certainly did his first time up, and Mercedes with a more of a softer line drive base hit in the second inning. Schaefer to Melvin, swing and a miss. Pitch was off speed. It's 0-1. Schaefer is not at all a hard thrower, but he has a good enough mix of off-speed pitches. No balls and a strike. Now Melvin gets underneath, lifting a fly ball to right field. Dotel has it gauged. Wellington Dotel with the catch. The Barnstormers cannot push an extra run home here in the third inning. No runs, 1 hit. A long double by Parker Morin. No errors, 1 man left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the third inning. 3-0 in favor of the Barnstormers.
Like craft beers? Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right. Celebrate baseball or just a night with your friends at the Broken Bat Deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat features more than 20 local craft breweries and product from a local winery. Food is sold off a pub-style menu. And new for 2019, there will be a trivia contest every Saturday evening beginning at 5, hosted by Cheaters Never Prosper. So get together, hang out with your friends, make some new ones, and enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with the Barnstormers game.
Tuxedo Tour and Travel. If you want to be there, we'll get you there. New York, Washington, D.C. We service all casinos, day trips, or multi-day excursions. Lebanon's #1 tour bus company, providing monthly casino trips. Sands of Bethlehem, Resort of Atlantic City, Mohegan Sun of Pocono Downs. Go to www.tuxedotour.com or give us a call, 717-269-3124.
Angeles Nina will lead off the third inning. 285 hitter with 3 home runs and 33 knocked in. Jared Lakin has retired 5 of 6 batters so far. The other thrown out on the bases. That first pitch to Nina, good for a strike called. It's 0-1. 3-0. The Barnstormers in the lead. But there have been other opportunities to score for the Barnstormers as well. They've left 5 runners on base. Ball is outside, 1-1. Club's already had 6 at bats with the runner in scoring position tonight. 2 for 6, not too bad. Ball 2 is upstairs on Nina. Now it is 2-1. Jared comes back, gets a topper foul up the third base side. Mercedes is there. He tries to make the toss to Polanco and misses. Made Noel lean over to pick that up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The count on the second baseman, Nina. Lakin comes back. It's driven out the right field. Hustling back on that is Gindel. Caleb leaping up to make the catch. Ball traveled more than Gindel thought it would. He's able to right himself and make the play. 1 out. Ryan Dent, the shortstop, steps in. 298 hitter with 6 homers and 33 runs batted in. It is amazing to me that outfielders are able to gauge the path of fly balls as well as they do, considering sun and air currents. But they get enough practice, enough reps, and have enough natural ability, they're able to do it. First pitch strike onto the outside corner to the shortstop, Dent. It is 0-1. 298 hitter is Dent coming into play here tonight. This lineup has been remarkable. Breaking ball stays outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jared into the motion, over the top, busts that onto the outside corner, making it 1-2. Lakin got knocked around early by 8 Long Island singles in the first inning and a third in his last start. Swung on and missed. Dent goes down. Second strikeout for Jared Lakin. Zach Sullivan will step in. First time we have seen Sullivan. And even he has been able to make a big contribution here when he's played. 265 hitter with 3 home runs and 6 runs batted in. He has 5 extra base hits already. He is a tall, slender fellow at 6'3", 180. He hails from the southern tier of New York State, born in Corning, lives in Elmira, and he strokes a base hit into left the first pitch he sees from Lakin. A 2-out single for Sullivan. It doesn't matter who York throws in this lineup. The guy hits like crazy. They could put Minnie Mendoza out there and he'd hit 300. And you talk about 300 being the Mendoza line and not 200. Justin Trapp comes to the plate, a strikeout victim his first time up. 2-out base runner for the York Revolution is Zach Sullivan. He's also 2 for 2, stealing bases. The pitch below the knees for a ball, 1-0. Sullivan's a young guy. He is only 23. One of the younger players in the league at the moment. Probably one of the 5 youngest in the league. Not as young as Frank Nigro from High Point. There he goes. The pitch is inside and low. Morin, no chance for a throw. Sullivan steals second, and it's 2-0 on Trapp. We talked about the similarities between tonight's game and last night's game. Well, York scored its first run last night in the bottom of the third inning, although they had runners at second and third with nobody out against Reed and got 1 man home. Here, the first 2 batters were retired. Now, Sullivan, with a single and a steal, is in scoring position. Justin Trapp bats 2-0. Lake into the plate. Ball 3 is inside and low. Wellington Dotel waits on deck. Lakin could really use some kind of recovery against Trapp before getting into what I've called the shark's teeth of this lineup. 3-0. Right there for a strike. Trapp seemed to be taking. A ball club that for the last 2 months now has averaged nearly 7 runs a game. Here's the 3-1. Bouncing ball, left side, stabbed by Melvin Mercedes, and he makes the throw to cut down Trapp. Very well done by Mercedes. Some white was showing when he handled the long hop off the bat of Justin Trapp. The play headed for the hole. No runs on a hit, no errors, 1 man left. We're through 3. Lakin has the shutout through 3, and the pattern breaks from last night. At the end of 3, Barnstormers leading 3-0.
Remove the wrong piece and the whole structure might fall apart. No, I'm not talking about the Barnstormers lineup. I'm talking about the life-size Jenga game that is part of the Subaru Outdoor Experience down the right field line at Clipper Magazine Stadium. There's ping pong, huge dice to roll, and more. Trivia contests take place before every Saturday home game. Group bookings are available, so enjoy the games while at the game and come to the Subaru Outdoor Experience just below the Broken Bat deck.
Picking one thing over the other can be hard.
Toast or avocado toast?
Ooh, 4 or 5-inch heels.
But with pick games from the Pennsylvania Lottery, drawn twice daily, picking's as easy as 2, 3, 4, or 5. Plus, add Wild Ball to any pick game for even more chances to win. It's simple.
Hey, what'll it be? Give me a pick 2, please. Oh, and add Wild Ball. I'm feeling pretty lucky.
Play pick games today from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Three runs, 4 hits, no errors, 5 left for Lancaster. No runs, 2 hits with no errors, 1 runner left on for the York Revolution. Gift and Gope, who had one of the big hits back in the second inning, starts us off in the 4th. And Gope a ground rule double to drive in a run. He later scored another. Schaefer missing the outside corner for a ball. It's 1-0. Ross, at some point, has to be tempted to move and Gope back up in the order. Breaking ball to the outer edge. It's 1-1. I think the strikeouts, and he's had a lot of them, had Russ move him down in the order, and Gope has come up with some awfully big hits. Breaking ball popped up on the right side. A first baseman and second baseman get together, Nash and Nina, and it's Nina with the catch. 1 gone here in the 4th inning, bringing around the top of the order Caleb Gindel, who has walked both his plate appearances so far tonight. Elsewhere in the Atlantic League, High Point up 1-0 in the bottom of the 4th down at BB&T Point. Dominic DeMasi and Joe Iorio are the starters there. That's a pretty good pitching matchup. I really like DeMasi. He has thrown a couple of gems against the Barnstormers. I'm surprised he's actually still in the Atlantic League. Inside a ball, 1-0 the count on Gindel. End of 3. Somerset leads Southern Maryland 3-2. It's Kyle Simon and Rick Teasley. Breaking ball, good for a strike. Gindel bats 1-1. And in the bottom of the 2nd, in Texas, New Britain and Sugarland scoreless. Troy Scribner against Akil Morris. Gindel stares at a ball down low. The count works in his favor. Now 2 balls and a strike. Joe Turdoslavich, who has been collared so far tonight, waits on deck. And to Gindel, 2-1. Caleb gets a hold of one, driving it deep right center field. Racing back on it is Sullivan all the way back, and the walls will not contain it. Caleb Gindel with his first home run outside of Clipper Magazine Stadium this season, and number 15 overall. The Barnstormers are now up 4-0. Gindel laid the heavy lumber on that, driving it out to a fairly deep part of this ballpark. Number 15 for Gindel, Mark Mason, is going to pay a visit to the mound, and visits in the Atlantic League automatically mean last rites. That will be it for Ricky Schaefer. He is finished here tonight. The Revs forced to go to their bullpen, and it's been Philip Walby warming up. We'll tell you for sure when we come back. The Barnstormers up 4-0 at the pitching change.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Philip Walby takes over with one out, nobody on in the top of the fourth inning. 6'2", 190-pound right-hander from San Diego originally, now living in Harper Woods, Michigan. Walby taking over for Ricky Schaefer after the Caleb Gindel home run makes it 4-0 here in the fourth inning. The right-hander 0-1 in 18 previous appearances. His earned run average is .555. 30 hits, 14 walks allowed in 24 1/3 innings. Joe Terdoslavich, the batter, still looking for a base hit to extend his current streak to 8. He has struck out and fly to shallow center so far tonight. Andrew Applin, who has ultimately the biggest hit of this game, waits on deck. Walby to Terdoslavich over the top and bounce to the backstop. Ball 1 and no strikes. Walby with a herky-jerky motion and comes straight from 12 o'clock. Tremendous downward plane on his pitches. That one downward way too much. Ball 1-0 on Terdoslavich. Lancaster facing Walby for the third time. That includes one start. Terdoslavich drives the ball the opposite field and hit well. Racing back on it, Sullivan. Sullivan leaping at the wall. Gives it his best shot, but the walls will not contain it, nor will the glove of Sullivan. And the Barnstormers go back-to-back for a 5-0 lead. Terdoslavich with his 18th home run of the year. This one to the opposite field. Two runs on the board here in the fourth inning, bringing on Andrew Applin. He could have designs to make it 3 in a row. 9th consecutive game in which the Barnstormers have homered. Back-to-back home runs have been fairly rare for the ball club this season. First pitch, a strike to the inside corner on Applin. It's 0-1. The Barnstormers have done it 3 previous times. Hobson and Bell against Sugarland. Terdoslavich and Hobson against Somerset. Gindel and Martinez against York. Down and in, ball 1, strike 1 on Applin. 15 for Gindel, 18 for Terdoslavich, and that will extend Joe's hitting streak to 8. He is a strong finisher. They got to experience that last year in Binghamton. Hard hit ground ball down the first base line under the glove of Telvin Nash and rolling into the corner. Applin will sprint towards second base, and he will glide in there. Nash was guarding the line, got over on it, but the ball stayed low. He couldn't get the glove down, and now Applin has a double. The Barnstormers have experienced plenty of success here in the 4th inning. 3 straight extra base hits, 5 extra base hits for the night. Here is Destin Hood, who was walked and fouled out. Schaefer went 3 1/3. He gave up 5 hits, 4 runs, all earned. Walked 4 and struck out a pair through a wild pitch. Walby has given up a home run and a double since coming in. 1 out. There goes Terdoslavich. Pitch swung on, line to left center field. Diving try for Mesa. Comes up short. The ball will roll to the wall. In to score is Terdoslavich. Hood is going to make his way to second base with an RBI double. And the Barnstormers are now up 6-0 with 4 consecutive extra base hits. We talked about Destin Hood and how once a night, it seems, he will hit a ball somewhat like that. Sometimes he gets under it, and it goes a long, long way. Now it's going to be a single for Hood, an RBI and an error. Charged to Sullivan, who bobbled the ball, trying to come up with it off the wall. Hood went gingerly into second. Here's Hobson. KC has fouled out and struck out so far in the game. Lancaster up by 6. Here in the 4th inning, Hobson, ground ball on the right side. Nash will handle it and underhand to Walby. The out goes 3-1 as Hood advances to third. Michael Martinez will try and pick up an additional run. 2 outs in the inning. Now Martinez will need a base hit. He has walked and grounded out. Hood's 28th RBI of the year, 26 in his last 20 starts. Unable to come through with a big hit last night after a 4 RBI game on Thursday, but he only had 1 chance last night. The delivery to Martinez is low, ball 1. Parker Morin, the catcher, waits on deck. Ricky Schaefer probably never wants to see Morin again. 2 awfully hard hit balls by Parker against the starter. 1 caught, the other one got by the right fielder Dotel. Martinez, a ground ball pulled foul, and it's olayed by Troy Steffi. Down the first base line. 1 ball and 1 strike to Michael Martinez. Destin Hood over at third with 2 outs. Lancaster ahead by 6 here in the 4th inning. If the Barnstormers win tonight, I don't have to grab the Community Cup and bring it with me tomorrow. York could not clinch without sweeping this series. High topper along the first base side. It'll be played by Nash. And they get Martinez at first base. Nash took it himself. It'll end the inning. But the Barnstormers unload 4 straight base hits, including back-to-back home runs, and score 3 times here in the 4th inning on 4 hits. There was 1 error and a runner left at third base. We are on our way to the bottom of the 4th inning. The Barnstormers are up 6-0.
At Clipper Magazine Stadium, we have hot dogs and popcorn, peanuts, soda, and nachos. But what if, say, you are only 3 months old and mom wants to have a night out and watch the Barnstormers? Well, thanks to May Grant Obstetrics and Gynecology, the littlest of Stormer fans now have a place to go for dinner during the game. Tots can take mom to the Little Sluggers dugout behind Section 13 at the stadium for a comfortable private feeding experience. A brightly painted room with comfortable furniture and TVs tuned to the game, it is the perfect spot for baby and mom during a night at the ballpark.
The constant energy, the tight turns and bustle of the city. Some survive it, others were made to conquer it. The first ever Lexus UX and UX F-Sport crossovers are crafted for those who were made for the city. UX, starting at $32,000. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
MSRP excludes delivery, processing, and handling fee of $1,025, which may be subject to change at any time. Excludes taxes, title, license, and optional equipment. Dealer price will vary.
We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Wellington Dotel to start things off for the York Revolution. Dotel grounded out his first trip. Jared Lakend on the hill, the motion and the first offering. Again at the knees for a called strike. That's at least 3 of the 4 innings that Lakend has started off in similar fashion. He's given up 2 hits and he has struck out 2. A couple of 2-out singles for the Revolution. Breaking ball now, and Dotel seemed content just to stand there and look. The bat wasn't even poised in position to go. No balls, 2 strikes on Dotel. You never know what he's up to. Lakend comes back. Dotel swinging and missing here. And it's a 1-2-3 strikeout for Jared Lakend. Number 3 on the night, is 69th of the season. Telvin Nash will come to the plate. Nash ripped a base hit into left center field back in the first inning, but Telvin isn't the fleetest of foot, and he tried to get to second base. Turdoslavich to Martinez to Ngope relay, cut him down. Just, if you're pitching to Telvin Nash, force him to hit on top of the baseball, whatever you do. He gets underneath it, it tends to go a tremendously long way. Lakend delivers the breaking ball and just clips the outside corner. Nash can't believe it. He looks back. Chris, if you were calling that, would you have called it a strike? The truth is, the automated system does. It's 0-1 to Nash. Lakend comes back, and this ball is hit in the air, right field. Gindel either doesn't see it or doesn't have to move, and the truth was the latter. 2 outs. Tejeda will step in. It's that time of night where fly balls can get lost. The ball was hit, however, straight at Caleb. He, at the very end, took 1 step over to his right to latch on to the fly ball off the bat of Nash. Tejeda stepping in. 0-for-1 on a pop-up to Gift Ngope. Lakend into the motion, breaking ball, and again, Tejeda almost comes out from under the helmet. It is 0-1. He had a similar swing against Lakend back in the second inning. 6-0 Barnstormers here in the fourth. Lancaster has had 1 healthy night at the plate. Tejeda will back away. But this is York, and you don't want to let up. Just want to keep the hits and runs coming and save some for tomorrow. Tejeda, ground ball along the line at third, pulled foul. Second strike on the slugging catcher. It really is remarkable for as long as Dotel and Nash and Tejeda have been around the Atlantic League that they're playing at the level that we're still seeing. Not everybody does that. Sometimes the skills or the desire will deteriorate after some time in this league. Breaking ball low, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Blake Galen, certainly a guy who just kept playing at that high level for a number of years. You look at the Ray Navarrettes and Jeff Nettles, Bryant Nelson, the guys who had the legendary careers in this league. And they could keep it going. 1-2, ground ball toward the hole at short. Diving play by Martinez. He'll make a blind throw and misses target. Tejeda safe at first on an infield single. The third hit for the York Revolution tonight, all coming with 2 outs. Martinez made an heroic stop in the hole at shortstop. Great diving play. Tejeda's not fast. Martinez got up and just heaved the ball, trying to bounce it across the diamond and somehow find Hobson in a game of pin the tail on the donkey. It was almost as if he were blindfolded in doing so, and the throw was halfway up the first base line toward home plate. But Tejeda was steaming down the line so fast he couldn't make the turn and possibly head to second, and the ball didn't go out of play. So he's still at first with 2 outs. Here's the pitch to the lefty batting Carlos Franco, swinging a roller foul up the third base side that would have been incredibly effective had he been able to sneak that fair, because Melvin Mercedes was a mile off the bag against the lefty. Tejeda, the base runner, with 2 outs. You don't worry about Tejeda stealing too many bases. Zach Sullivan swiped one last inning. No balls, 1 strike to Franco. Lakeland will bring it home. A swing and a miss at a curveball. It's 0-2. 6-0. Barnstormers in the lead here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Lancaster had led 5-1 at this point last night. Innings 5 and 6 where the ball game got away. Lakeland delivers, and his breaking ball barely misses. He has Franco still at 1-2, but Lakeland has had an easier time of it tonight than Reed did last night. Nate was up to 69 pitches through those first 4 innings. Lakeland currently at 49. Again, a breaking ball. This one chases Franco out of the zone and doesn't get all the way back, so we're 2-2 with Melky Mesa waiting on deck. Tejeda, a short lead at first, being held by Hobson. And Gope playing on the outfield grass toward the hole. 2-2, Lakeland to the plate, and this is lifted to left. Down the line, back it goes, and the walls will not contain it. Carlos Franco goes the other way down the left field line for a 2-run home run. York once again has awakened in the middle innings. Tejeda an infield single. Franco his 10th home run of the year. A lob over the wall at the 300 mark down the left field line. It works here, and it's now 6-2. On the 2-2 offering from Jared Lakeland. It's only the 3rd homer that Jared's allowed in his last 32 and a third innings. But 6-2 as Melky Mesa steps in. They can do it from anywhere in the batting order, and that is the scary part. In this case, it was Franco in the number 5 slot. Carlos Franco, to me, is the guy that galvanized this ball club. Ever since his arrival, York has caught fire. Ball 1-0, and the delivery chopped towards shortstop, hustling in is Martinez. He'll throw low, and it's bounced past Hobson. Mesa's safe at first. And Angeles Nina will come to the plate with 2 outs and a runner on. An infield single for Mesa now, as Michael Martinez raced in to make the play on the dead run. He was playing deep against Mesa. Now with 2 outs, Nina will come to the plate. Nina line to the right fielder Gindel, leading off the 3rd inning. You cannot let up against the York Revolution. This lineup is simply too good. Lakeland will work to Nina with 2 outs and the runner aboard. Upstairs for a ball. It is 1-0. The tough part about this for Jared, is that there have been 2 infield singles in the inning. And Franco goes oppo down the line, and all of a sudden, you're in trouble. 1 ball, no strikes to Nina. Ryan Dent waits on deck. Lakin comes back, and that is taken for a strike at the knees, 1-1. Jared's had a pretty good ability to zero in at that level here tonight. It was June 12th that Carlos Franco was signed. June 10th is when York went on the hot streak, and it may have started innocently enough, but to me, those 2 things go hand in hand. 2-1 now to Nina as a breaking ball stays wide. 6-2 our score, lower half of the 4th inning. Nina, a guy who has bounced around the Atlantic League, but for now he has found a home here at Peoples Bank Park. 2 balls, 1 strike with 2 outs, and the pitch, ground ball to the second baseman, and Gope will shovel to Martinez and end the inning. 4-6 for the final out, but Franco gets York on the board with an opposite field 2-run homer. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors, 1 stranded. At the end of 4 tonight, just like last night, the Barnstormers lead by 4, though tonight it is 6-2.
The National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum is a place with thousands of stories to be told. It's a place to relive baseball's greatest moments and share them with future generations. It's a place to experience the game and how it has shaped our history. Cooperstown is a destination with something for the entire family. Our stories to tell, your memories to share. Plan your trip to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown at baseballhall.org.
Enjoy baseball and stay in shape. The Lancaster Barnstormers have a great package for our more experienced fans to do both. The Silver Stormers package is open to all fans 55 and above. Get a ticket to all Tuesday home games. Take a walk around our beautiful stadium during the day on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And get a Silver Stormers t-shirt to sport to all of these events. The Silver Stormers is presented by A&E Audiology and Hearing Aid Center. Sign up today at the stadium or at LancasterBarnstormers.com.
In Major League Baseball, we had some daytime finals. The New York Yankees clipped the Cleveland Indians. 6-5 was the final score. 4 home runs for the Yankees in the game. Cubs shut out the Pirates behind John Lester 2-0. Seattle with a 4-3 victory over the Toronto Blue Jays. And Oakland knocked off Houston 8-4. The A's are 6.5 back in the American League West. Also several games in progress. We'll get to those momentarily. Parker Morin leads off against Philip Walby in the top of the 5th inning. The Barnstormers leading 6-2. Morin has lined to deep right field, and he has doubled into the right field corner. He had 2 great swings in against Ricky Schaefer. Walby over the top. This is badly outside. It's gloved by Tejeda. Ball 1 and no strikes. Tigers in Tampa Bay. No score into the bottom of the 7th inning tonight. Each side with just 3 hits. Cincinnati owns a 2-1 lead over St. Louis. Play is in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Milwaukee 5-0 over the Nats in the bottom of the 3rd. Upstairs to Morin. 2 balls and no strikes. Melvin Mercedes waits on deck. Phillies out to a nice start tonight. 2-0 over the San Diego Padres. Wild card race in the National League is just that. It's wild. A lot of teams scrambling for a couple of spots. Swing and a miss by Morin against Walby. It is 2-1. If you're the Barnstormers, you want to keep scoring runs tonight. Last night, after 3 hits, before the second out in the 4th inning, the Barnstormers had 1 more the remainder of the game. and they had a 4-run lead going into the 5th. Similarities abound to this point. Fouled away by Morin. He and Walby tangle at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Walby gave up 3 hits right away. A home run by Trdoslavich, double by Applin, and what was ruled a single by Hood, and then a subsequent error by Sullivan, the center fielder. Parker Morin batting at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The delivery is outside. Morin goes to full at 3-2. The Revs with a left-hander, Orleni Quiroz, warming up in the bullpen. Morin batting at 3-2 here. Orioles and Red Sox tonight, no score into the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Mets Royals 0-0 through 3.5. Swung on and just fouled at the plate. Morin remains alive at 3-2. No score between the Dodgers and the Braves in the top of the 3rd inning. Later on this evening, Minnesota visits Texas. Miami's at Colorado. San Francisco again taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Giants have moved ahead of the D-backs in the standings with a couple wins in that series, and White Sox take on the Angels out in the far west. Strike 3 called on Morin. Tejeda knew it before the signal was given. Morin is gone on strikes, 1 away in the 5th inning. Melvin Mercedes will come to the plate. Mercedes 1 out of 2 with a run scored here tonight. The last 3 have been retired by Walby. Shaggy-haired right-hander over the top. Chopper by Mercedes. It'll be handled by the second baseman, Nina. 2 up and 2 down quickly here in the 5th inning. Gift and Gope will come to the plate, and Gope drove in the first run of the night with a ground rule double left center. He popped out the second time up. "17 of the last 18 were retired by York pitching last night. Tonight, obviously a long way to go before we would get to that stage, but it is 4 in a row at exactly the same point. 2 outs, nobody on as Ngope stands in. Walby delivers. Gift with a swing, a miss, and a 360 on the follow-through. 0-1 on Ngope. Dent, Sullivan, and Trapp scheduled in the bottom of the 5th for York. 2 outs, nobody on, and Ngope has a lot of room in the gap in right center. Walby will deliver, and Gift takes a second strike as Walby locates the outside corner. It's 0-2. Lancaster with the 4-run lead here in the 5th inning tonight. Philip Walby at 0-2, and Ngope stares at it, and it's strike 3. Walby fans 2 in the inning, both looking, and the Barnstormers go down in 1-2-3 fashion. We're halfway through regulation into 4.5. Lancaster 6 and York 2. Lancaster Bible College has been around since 1933, but did you know that they offer degrees in much more than just Bible?
LBC offers degrees in criminal justice, business, professional counseling, and more, as well as graduate and seminary degrees in areas like Christian care, chaplaincy, education, and leadership studies. To learn more about LBC and the programs they offer, visit lbc.edu. That's lbc.edu.
Picking one thing over the other can be hard.
Toast or avocado toast?
Ooh, 4 or 5-inch heels.
But with pick games from the Pennsylvania Lottery, drawn twice daily, picking's as easy as 2, 3, 4, or 5. Plus, add Wild Ball to any pick game for even more chances to win. It's simple.
Hey, what'll it be? Give me a pick 2, please. Oh, and add Wild Ball. I'm feeling pretty lucky.
Play pick games today from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Ryan Dent, Zach Sullivan, and Justin Trapp, the scheduled hitters, as we go to the home half of inning number 5 here tonight. Barnstormers with the 6-2 lead, but again, that eerie quiet out of this lineup in the middle innings. We talked last night about how the Barnstormers from innings 5 through 7 have been outscored terribly this season. It explains the bulk of the year. Here is Dent leading off. He struck out his first time up, now steps out of the way as ball 1 is low, 1-0. Now this, to me, is a watershed inning for Jared Lakin and the Barnstormers. Lakin got burned with 2 outs last inning. He's retired the first 2 batters in each inning so far, but he gave up an infield single and then a 2-run opposite field homer last inning. Now to Dent, ball 2 is just inside, 2-0. It's hard to imagine that a pitch can actually be inside to Dent or some of these other hitters, maybe Dotel, and not hit him. Now ball 3, missing low from Lakin. He hasn't walked the batter tonight, but if he puts Dent on, it keeps momentum going toward the York side. The 3-0 pitch, Dent steps out of the way and looks at a strike. We go to 3-1. The Barnstormers have been outscored by 59 runs in innings 5 through 7. Swing and a miss by Dent, 3-2. And for the year, they've been outscored only by 56. Well, it's this segment of the ball game that has been problematic. This and the tail end, holding leads in the 9th inning, winning the extra inning games. 3-2 is ball 4. Lakin issues his first walk. That will get the Revs going, and it will get their fans going. This ballpark is about to get loud. Zach Sullivan steps in. Sullivan ripped a single into left back in the 3rd inning. Hitting is contagious. This ball club has had an epidemic. The CDC could be called in. Dent on at first base, not a steal threat. The pitch to Sullivan, ground ball pulled foul behind Noel Polanco. It is 0-1. Lancaster 6, York 2, bottom of inning 5. Lakin could use a double play or something similar to quiet down these Revs fans. Big swing and a miss by Sullivan. It's 0-2. He had only seen 1 pitch tonight prior to this plate appearance. Sandy De Leon coaching first. Noel Polanco over at third. They've had traffic the last 2 innings. No balls, 2 strikes, inside and low. The runner takes off belatedly, and Morin has a choice. He throws behind him at first, and Dent is picked off. Sandy De Leon will, I think, gripe about that momentarily, but Dent is lost, and that is big. He thought the pitch had gotten through, started to take off for second. Morin had actually stopped it, and Parker had a choice where he wanted to throw. He went toward the pitcher's mound to get a full look at Dent, who tried to get back into first base. He is thrown out. Mark Mason out to argue with the first base umpire David Snyder about the call. The Barnstormers get a break there, 1 man down in the 5th inning. It is the second base runner that the Revs have lost tonight. Zach Sullivan batting at a ball and 2 strikes with 1 out and the bases cleaned off. Justin Trapp waits on deck. The delivery here stays off the outside corner. A backdoor breaking ball attempt from Lakin. It is 2-2. Flag completely still now. It is somewhat sticky here tonight in York, especially without the air moving that we had earlier. 2-2. Sullivan awaits. It's a bouncer along the third base line. That is deemed a foul ball, but belatedly, Mercedes made the throw across the diamond. We didn't see a quick signal from either Engstrand or Hirilli, but a foul ball, and it's 2-2 to Sullivan. It looked foul, but from this angle, we can be deceived rather easily. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sullivan waits, and Lakin misses up and away. He's gone to a full count again. 3-2. York still has action in the bullpen, and I'll believe that it continues to be the left-hander Quiroz. The Barnstormers may be starting to think about it. 3-2. A partial swing, but he went too far. Sullivan rung up on the third strike. It would have been ball 4. In fact, he started to head toward first base. He gets rung up by Engstrand, and Jared Lakin gets his 4th strikeout. And in a matter of a couple of degrees at most on that swing is the difference between 2 outs, nobody on, 1 out, and a runner aboard. Justin Trapp stands in. He's 0 for 2. When they say baseball is a game of inches, it is. Inches and sometimes degrees. Breaking ball stays outside from Lakin to Trapp. It is ball 1. Jared cannot spot that pitch this inning. He is missing outside by a few inches. The delivery fouled back to the screen, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. I suppose you could say that about any sport. I mean, think of the number of times that a slap shot is saved, but if it's 2 inches to the left, it goes in the net, or basketball is an inch off the rim as opposed to going through. Breaking ball is a strike. It is 1-2. Football, a receiver makes a catch, or the throw is an inch off his fingertips. Pulled down the left field line by Trapp, and that was a great piece of hitting. The pitch was down low. Terdoslavich on it in a hurry, fires into second and holds Trapp to a single. 2-out base runner once again for the York Revolution. Lakin, much like Connor Overton 2 nights ago at Somerset, his retired, or in every inning, he's pitched with 2 outs and nobody on base. Overton also gave up a leadoff base runner, a single to Massey, and the next guy bunted into a double play in that game Thursday night. But every inning, Overton had 2 outs and nobody on. Lakin, the same thing. He's got Trapp aboard now after the first 2 were retired. And here is Dotel, who hits a ground ball on the right side, handled by Ngope to his left. The second baseman with a casual toss to first, ending the inning. And Lakin puts up that much-needed 0. No runs on a hit, no errors, and a man left. We're at the end of 5. The Barnstormers continue to lead 6-2.
Tuxedo Tour and Travel, your go-to motor coach bus company. Supplying your motor coach needs from day trips to multi-day excursions. Trips to New York, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., San Francisco, and all points in between. We can provide you with an itinerary or fulfill all your trips' transportation needs, providing casino trips monthly. Go to www.tuxedotour.com or give us a call, at 717-269-3124.
There's a new force in town. Know any young baseball fans? Make sure they're a part of the Storm Force Kids Club presented by Commonwealth Charter Academy. For only $25, kids receive 12 field box tickets. To go with the tickets, the Storm Force members will get a backpack, a t-shirt, an invitation to Silo's birthday party, and a chance to meet Barnstormer players over a bowl of ice cream, plus a lot more. What's better than that? Sign up at LancasterBarnstormers.com or stop by the stadium to get those kids involved.
Caleb Gindel leading off the 6th inning, and he will be facing a new pitcher into the ball game for the York Revolution, as the Barnstormers will face a lefty for the first time tonight. Orleni Quiroz has come in. Facing Gindel, Turdoslavich, and Applin. Quiroz in his 24th game. He is 3-1 with a 5.4 ERA. First pitch is hit over his head, but softly. One hop to the shortstop Dent, throw to first base, and Gindel is called out by David Snyder. And Gindel fortunately didn't slam his helmet down. He did strip it off and was about to blow, and then decides he needs to stay in the game. 6-3 on the out. One away on one pitch. Joe Turdoslavich comes in. Turdoslavich homered his last time up. 1 out of 3 for the Barnstormers left fielder here tonight. And that is 6 batters in a row now retired by York pitching. To Turdoslavich. Fastball for a strike. It is 0-1. On Wednesday, the Barnstormers had 3 runs on 7 hits the first 4 innings. They did get 4 hits, but no runs the rest of the way. Inside and low, bouncing free from Tejeda. And it is now a ball and a strike on Turdoslavich, who somehow got his feet out of the path of that errant delivery. Orleni Quiroz from Puerto Plata in the Dominican Republic. He is 26 years of age, and that's just recent. 6'3", 180-pound left-hander. Here's the 1-1. Turdoslavich looks at a breaking ball. That's good for a second strike. It is 1-2. Quiroz was with the San Francisco Giants system for 4 years. The first 3, he stayed at home in the Dominican Republic, came to the U.S. last year. Fastball is outside, 2-2. For those of you not aware, major league teams have 1 and in some cases 2 minor league affiliates in camps down in the Dominican Republic as well as Venezuela. Ball 3 is low, and the count has gone to full on Turdoslavich. 1 out, nobody on, top half of the 6th inning tonight. And it's a training ground for the kids who sign at 16 years of age. Major league organizations like to keep them down there to groom them not only in terms of playing baseball, but they're teenagers. And they don't want them that far from home in a country with a foreign language. Ground ball, shortstop again, and Dent with plenty of time to deal across. 2 up and 2 down here in the 6th, bringing on Applin, who is 2 out of 3 tonight. They teach them English and finances. A lot of these kids grow up and they come from literally nothing, a nothing that most people in the United States cannot imagine. Ball 1, no strikes. The count on Applin. Fastball upstairs, 2-0. The count to Andrew. Barnstormers' last 7 batters have not hit the ball out of the infield. No base runners. 2 balls, no strikes. Quiros to the plate, and Applin has to duck. A pitch hung up badly high and inside. 3-0. Applin may very well have a green light here. .30 pitch taken outside. Andrew aboard for the 3rd straight time. He walks for the 8th time on this road trip. Here is Destin. Hood is 1 for 2 tonight with an RBI. He's drawn a walk, has a single. It was smoked to the gap in left center. Lancaster 6, York 2, playing the top of the 6th inning. And Anderson De La Rosa playing some catch with somebody down the left field line. I don't know if that means the end of Jared Lakin's night is near or not. Hood steps in with Applin at first base. Andrew has 9 steals. He's been caught 3 times. High and wide to Hood for ball 1. It's 1-0. Quiros with 12 walks, 19 strikeouts in 21 2/3 innings prior to this evening. Defense back here with 2 outs in the inning. Applin not out to a very big lead. Here's the 1-0 to Hood. Cut on and popped up first base side and may very well stay in play. Nash is there. He'll take it for the final out. Well, for the Barnstormers in the 6th, no runs, no hits, no errors. 1 stranded. Bottom of the 6th coming up with Nash, Tejeda, and Franco stepping in. Lancaster is up 6-2.
Hi, this is Hall of Famer Carlton Fisk. Make your plans today to visit Cooperstown and the Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum.
There it goes, the long drive. If it stays fair, home run.
Reconnect with your memories of the game and make new memories with your family. Check out baseballhall.org today for more information.
Carlton Fisk had a lot of little boy in him right there, Joe.
The National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum, preserving history, honoring excellence, and connecting generations.
Just like a baseball team needs pitchers, sluggers, relievers, and coaches to win games, a fire company needs firefighters, drivers, fire police officers, and administrative help to be successful. Fire companies need to function as a well-oiled team too, through training, preparing, and working together like a team. When an emergency occurs, your local fire company responds to help save lives and property. Maybe it's time you stepped up to bat and offered to hit a home run for your community. Go to becomeafirefighter.org and sign up. You won't regret taking a swing for the fences. Join the fire service team.
Boy, do we have defensive changes for the Barnstormers as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Anderson De La Rosa is now in to catch. Joe Terdoslavich has moved to 3rd. Melvin Mercedes is over at 2nd. Darian Sanford is out in center. Andrew Applin has moved to left. Both Ngope and Morin have come out of the ball game, and that to have happened simultaneously is puzzling. And we'll have to find out where Sanford bats and where De La Rosa bats, although I would imagine De La Rosa will be in the 7 slot and Sanford in the 9. Meanwhile, Jared Lakin is still in the ball game. Telvin Nash will lead off the bottom of the 6th against him. Nash is 1 for 2. Strange to have 2 players come out simultaneously in the 6th inning of a contested ball game. We'll see if we can get a backstory on it. The wind by Lakin. His first delivery is that strike at the knees on Nash. Jared has been incredibly effective with that pitch in that spot to start off his innings tonight. It's at least 4 and maybe 5. 0-1 to Nash, who was single to left, thrown out, going to second, and last time up he flied out to right. Swing and a miss here. Lakin has him at 0-2. It's been a very solid performance so far tonight for Jared Lakin. No balls, 2 strikes to Nash. Isaias Tejeda waiting on deck. Lakin into his motion. Goes with the breaking ball, but he misses badly high. Breaking ball might have been a straight change. It's 1-2. There were no obvious injuries on the field, but all of a sudden Morin and Gope are out of the game. Ball 2 is outside. 2-2. Hobson Martinez and I would imagine De La Rosa due up in the top of the 7th. Two, and the Lakin pitch is beaten foul by Nash. You would think that Nash would strike out a lot, but the Barnstormers have gotten him just once in this series. He has struck out 82 times on the year, but he has been feisty with 2 strikes. 2-2 from Lakin. Trying to keep York off the scoreboard one more inning. The 2-2 is on the way. This is driven deep down the right field line, slicing, and it is foul into the corner. Franco with an opposite field 2-run homer in the 4th inning that barely stayed fair inside that short foul pole above the 37.5-foot wall here in York. And Nash tries to go to the opposite field here in the 6th. He has amazing power to all fields. This did stay in the ballpark. It faded foul by a couple of feet down toward the York bullpen. As a matter of fact, they have somebody warming up down there, and it would have almost taken him out, I believe. 2-2. The count once again to Nash. Lakin to the plate. He got him a swing and a miss. De La Rosa will gently lay the tag on to make it official. 5 strikeouts for Jared Lakin, 1 away. Isaias Tejeda will come to the plate. Tejeda is 1 out of 2 with a run scored. Well, all those changes are noted in the ballpark. The Barnstormers with a defensive scramble. Trying to see if I can get word on exactly what took place there. 1 out, nobody on. As I said, no obvious injuries or anything on the field. 1 out and a Tejeda. The fastball runs outside. Ball 1-0. Julio Perez, the right-hander, is the man warming up for York. Barnstormers bullpen stays quiet. One strike on Tejeda. Lakin comes back, and it's smoked into left field. Tejeda with his 2nd hit tonight and his 4th in the series. Lakin will have to work with 1 out and a runner aboard. Carlos Franco steps in. Franco with a ground out and then the 2-run home run back in the 4th inning. 7 hits now for the York Revolution. Through 3.5 innings tonight, the Barnstormers had 8 hits and York 2, and now it's 8-7 here in the bottom half of inning 6. Infield will set up at double play depth. One out. Tejeda, the base runner, held by Hobson. Lakeland goes to work on Franco, and the first pitch is a fastball for strike one. Melky Mesa, the left fielder, scheduled to bat next. One strike pitch due to Franco. Lakeland comes back. Breaking ball is chased badly, and it's 0-2. Lakeland has Franco set up here in the 6th inning. It was 2-2 back in the 4th inning when Franco went to the opposite field. Ten homers, 41 runs batted in, and he's been with this ball club about 9 weeks. Here's the 0-2 to him. It's bounced. De La Rosa knocks it down. Ball 1, 2 strikes. One and two. Lakeland peering in, getting the signal from De La Rosa. Tejeda out to a lead, not going. Breaking ball, knocks Franco down. Fans can grumble, but that was an errant breaking pitch. Wasn't a fastball. 2-2 on Franco. So here we are again. Tejeda at first. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Franco. The only difference between this and the 4th inning is right now there's only 1 out in the frame. Two balls, 2 strikes, with Mesa waiting on deck. At one point, Echemendia had started to throw in the Lancaster bullpen. Here's a 2-2. He got him, a swing and a miss at a breaking ball. Franco is gone on strikes. 2 for Lakeland this inning, and that makes 6 for the ball game. Now here is Melky Mesa. By no means is Lakeland out of trouble here in the 6th inning, but good to get the 2nd out. Mesa is 1 for 2. Lakeland struck out 7 in that marvelous game against the Long Island Ducks on Memorial Day, where he had the perfecto into the 7th inning. But this is his 2nd high total of the year. Check swing by Mesa on a pitch barely inside. Ball 1-0. I have 90 pitches for Jared here tonight. He holds the 6-2 lead with 2 outs and a runner on in the 6th inning. One ball and nothing to Mesa. Tejeda, again, the short lead. The pitch is rocked toward left center field. Way back it goes, and it will tick off the top corner of the left field wall. Tejeda to third. Quick throw into second is late, trying to get Mesa. That miss being a 2-run homer by about a foot in 2 different dimensions. A foot higher or a foot to the right, and it's 6-4. Instead, a long double for Mesa. Angeles Nina steps in with runners at 2nd and 3rd and 2 outs. If Lakeland gets him, the Barnstormers just received a huge break. De La Rosa out to discuss signals with Jared Lakeland. You're allowed to do that, but it can also give the pitcher a little bit of a needed breather. Mesa destroyed the pitch at 1 ball and no strikes, and he ended up playing handball off that big 37-foot high and 75 feet or so wide wall out in left field. 2nd and 3rd, 2 gone, and it's chopped to third base. Charging in, Terdoslavich will fire across the diamond and get Nina. The Barnstormers getting a huge break here in the bottom of the 6th inning. No runs, 2 hits with no errors. 2 men left on base. Lakeland puts up another 0. He's got a quality start in the works. We'll go to the 7th. Lancaster's up 6-2.
when in need of new appliances for your home? Come to Gockenauer's in East Petersburg and see what buying from a hometown dealer is all about. We offer the best brands at the best prices, plus deliver, install, and service everything we sell. Don't get burned by another chain store taking your money and then going out of business. Come to the place who has been helping Leicester County for 70 years. Your hometown dealer making the best brands better. Gockenauer's in East Petersburg.
The constant energy, the tight turns and bustle of the city. Some survive it, others were made to conquer it. The first ever Lexus UX and UX F-Sport crossovers, crafted for the new frontier. UX, starting at $32,000. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
MSRP excludes delivery, processing, and handling fee of $1,025, which may be subject to change at any time. Excludes taxes, title, license, and optional equipment. Dealer price will vary.
Six runs, 8 hits, no errors, and 7 left for the Barnstormers. 2 runs, 8 hits, an error. And the York Revolution stranding 5 so far. It's gotten a little bit dicey here over the last couple of innings, but Lakeland has been able to pull himself free from 2-out danger. This game may ultimately be decided by Mace's ball catching the corner of the wall. Julio Perez, meanwhile, taking over on the hill. Hobson, Martinez, and I would imagine De La Rosa scheduled to face him. Again, we haven't seen exactly how that lineup is going to work. Here's Casey Hobson leading off the 7th inning. 0 for 3 for KC in the ball game tonight. You got to commend Lakin, and it doesn't look like we're going to see him for the 7th inning. The Barnstormers do have action down in the bullpen. But you come in here to York and throw a quality start, that is a job very well done. The pitch to Hobson, a swing and a miss. KC down a strike. He is fouled out, struck out, and grounded out so far tonight. Hard throwing Julio Perez into the game, 5-2 in 43 appearances. He has a 3.89 earned run average. Fouled away by Hobson. The count is 0-2. The Barnstormers have not hit a ball out of the infield since that screaming single to the wall by Hood back in the 4th inning. That provided the Barnstormers with their 6th run of the game. Inside and low, skipping all the way to the backstop. It's ball 1 to KC. So I'm not sure which is which, but I am told that of the 2 guys that came out, and Gope and Morin, one feeling under the weather and the other one got banged up, and I'm not sure which is which. It's so unusual to see 2 guys come out at the same time in the middle of a game. 1-2, Hobson, ground ball, softly hit to Nash. He will underhand to Perez covering. The out goes 3-1. 9 of the last 10 Barnstormers have been retired. It'll bring on Martinez. Michael is 0 for 2 with a walk. He has scored a run. And we don't see anybody yet in the on-deck circle. Was it De La Rosa or is it Sanford? It's got to be somebody. Hits are now even at 8. Martinez played to shove the ball to the opposite field. Sullivan well toward left center here. To Michael, fouled into the screen. He's down a strike. It is 0-1. Lancaster lit up Philip Walby when he first came into the game. Home run, double, single. And then Walby settled down. He got the last 5. Quiroz got through the 6th inning, giving up just a 2-out walk. Perez has retired the first batter here in the 7th. Martinez looking at a fastball inside and low. The count goes to 1-1. Seventh inning of play here tonight. We'll go at it 1 o'clock tomorrow. Game 3 of the series before a 7-game homestand. Next offering is bounced home. 2 balls and 1 strike to Michael Martinez. And it is, in fact, Anderson De La Rosa in the on-deck circle. Now it's straight up. Sanford will bat 9th. That's the way I figured it would be, but until we saw for sure, we did not know 100%. Ball 3 is outside to Michael. 3-1. Can't believe the amount of room between Sullivan and Dotel out in right center. Here's the 3-1. Martinez gets ball 4 down low and unwraps himself before heading to first base. 6th walk given up by York pitching tonight. De La Rosa will step in. Quite a night for Anderson last night. I said earlier he hit the ball hard all 4 times up. Anderson steps into the batter's box hitting .271 with 5 home runs, and he's driven in 24 for the season. Now the Barnstormers are vulnerable. They can't have anything happen to De La Rosa. I have been told by Ross Peoples that in an absolute emergency, the guy who would come in and catch would be Trdoslavich. But it would take pretty much, it would be a Terry Tiffy situation from, what was that, 7 years ago now. One of the most memorable nights in Barnstormers history. Runner at first base. Here's De La Rosa looking at a fastball for strike 1. Melvin Mercedes, now the second baseman, waits on deck. Infield looking to turn 2 behind Perez here in the 7th inning. We'll see if Martinez can get any kind of a jump. The Barnstormers really haven't been in much of a base-stealing mood in this series. There goes Martinez. The pitch swung on line center field and a base hit. Up with it in a hurry is Sullivan, and Martinez, even though he was on the move, has to stop at second. Boy, De La Rosa's swinging the bat in this series. And the Barnstormers with 2 on for Melvin Mercedes. Melvin 1 for 3 in the ballgame. A sharp single into center by De La Rosa. If he had slowed it down a little bit, the Barnstormers would actually be in better shape. Out to the mound goes Tejeda to talk things over with Perez. Anderson De La Rosa, I guess with fresh legs out there. That wicked liner into center. Mercedes batting. Darian Sanford is on deck, and the Barnstormers bench is fairly depleted. Mercedes looking to stretch out the lead. Perez to the plate. Line drive and a base hit into left field. Again, the Barnstormers have to hold the runners. Martinez stopping at third. De La Rosa at second. The ball got to Mesa too quickly. Sanford will bat with the bases full, and once again, the Barnstormers have reached double digits in base hits. Well, I take it back. It's not Sanford, it's Torrance. Now it's actually Torrance, not Sanford. My apologies. I had thought that it would be Sanford out in center. And they both throw right-handed, which is what I went by. Devon stands in. Bases loaded, 1 out. Perez to the plate, and the fastball is just off the outside corner. Ball one, no strikes. Corners play up for a play at the plate. Torrance, 1 for 3 on the year with the bases loaded. He's not had a hit in his last 5 games. Ball one, no strikes to him. Torrance swinging and missing at a Perez fastball. It's 1-1. Gindel waits on deck. Martinez at third with De La Rosa at second. Mercedes aboard at first base. Last 2 batters have hit the ball extremely hard. Torrance at a ball and a strike. The offering swung on and hit toward the wall in left field. Chasing this one back toward the corner is Mesa. That ball is fair. It will bring in Martinez. It will bring in De La Rosa. Stopping at second, Mercedes. A long 2-run single for Devon Torrance. And the Barnstormers now lead 8-2. Devon Torrance, what they always ask their players to do in York, he hit the wall. And Caleb Gindel will step in after the Barnstormers are able to break it open here in the top of the 7th inning. Huge hit for Devon Torrance to break out of a slump that he had been in since hitting his 2nd home run. Mercedes forced to stop at second. Here is Gindel, and a fastball is off the top of the leaping Tejeda's glove. Runners move to second and third. A pass ball is going to be charged to Tejeda. He couldn't handle that pitch up. Double play is off. Gindel, again in his favorite situation, batting with a runner at third and fewer than 2 outs. Lancaster leading by 6 for the 2nd time in the game. Infield is pulled in by Mark Mason, with Mercedes at third and Torrance at second. To Gindel, little tapper out in front of the plate. Tejeda's going to throw to first, and that leaves the plate unguarded, and coming in behind it is Melvin Mercedes, as it is now 9-2. Gindel retired 2-3, but it's good enough to get the run across. On to third goes Torrance on the play. Terdoslavich will step in. Joe 1 for 4 tonight. 9-2 Barnstormers here in the 7th inning. With Tejeda charging out to field that little tapper by Gindel, which probably went no more than 10 or 15 feet from the plate. It left home unprotected. Mercedes waited to be sure and then bolted for the plate, and there was no way to get him. 2 outs, runner at third. Terdoslavich looks at a fastball outside for ball 1. Devon Torrance coming up huge here in the 7th inning. Lancaster leading by 7. 3 3-run innings for the Barnstormers tonight. To Terdoslavich, the next offering is just a tad low. Ball 2-0 on the Barnstormer third baseman, Andrew Applin. Waits on deck. 2 more hits for Andrew tonight. Here comes the 2-0. Fastball upstairs. This time Tejeda able to reach up and glove it. 3 balls and no strikes. This road trip for the Barnstormers is peculiar. When you look at the games, a 7-1 win, a 4-3 loss, a 7-1 win, a 6-5 loss, and now the ball club up 9-2 in the 7th inning tonight. And it all seems to hinge on what happens in the middle innings. Lakin came up with the big shutdown innings tonight, and the Barnstormers are able to springboard off that and open the lead back up. Last night, Nate Reed and the bullpen couldn't do it. the lead got away and the Barnstormers never were able to recover. Statistically, this ball club is a whole lot better than that one-loss record. Foul ball back by Turdoslavich, and the count is full 3-2. You're going to see a team with members of the year-end All-Star squad. I would think Gindel and Turdoslavich have to be their first team or second team, depending on how it all shakes down. Both in the top 10 in the league and runs batted in. 3-2, Turdoslavich fouls that off. They'll force Perez to deal again. Gindel now with 72 runs batted in for the year. Turdoslavich 61. Three and two. 2 outs. Torrance up the line from third. The fastball high and tight. Applin will bat. Second walk issued by Perez in the inning. At this point, the third run is not earned. If Applin comes through with a base hit, it will be. Applin, a single and a double tonight. He has scored a run. He has knocked in 2. 2 out of 3 officially for the Barnstormers outfielder. Torrance up the line from third. Turdoslavich is off first. Tough to guard the field against Andrew Applin. Perez to the plate. Applin takes a ball inside and low. It gets away from Tejeda. Torrance isn't going to try to score, but Turdoslavich goes to second on the wild pitch. And that's the second misfire on the battery this inning. Destin Hood is the Barnstormers' on-deck batter. Lancaster getting contributions from the bottom of the order, the 2 games in this series. That's needed. It's been a great couple of games for the catchers offensively. The ball 1 pitch gets the knees. Applin bats at a ball and a strike. Torrance at third. Turdoslavich now at second in a 9-2 ball game. John Anderson goes tomorrow against another pitcher the Barnstormers have not seen. Applin swings and misses a fastball in his eyes, 1-2. It will be Julio Eusebio, who goes by Ricky, which I trust maybe his middle name is Ricardo. 27-year-old right-hander who has not been with York terribly long. Applin batting 1 ball, 2 strikes here. Perez will fire and Applin will sky at the center. Sullivan retreats on it, plenty of room for him. He makes the catch to end the inning. Lancaster does put 3 extra runs on the board on 3 hits. Torrance with the big blow, a 2-run single off the wall and left. There were no errors in the inning, 2 men left in scoring position. We've reached the stretch tonight with the Barnstormers leading 9-2.
Like craft beers? Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right. Celebrate baseball or just a night with your friends at the Broken Bat Deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat features more than 20 local craft breweries and product from a local winery. Food is sold off a pub-style menu. And new for 2019, there will be a trivia contest every Saturday evening beginning at 5, hosted by Cheaters Never Prosper. So get together, hang out with your friends, make some new ones, and enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with the Barnstormers game.
Tuxedo Tour and Travel. If you want to be there, we'll get you there. New York, Washington, D.C. We service all casinos, day trips, or multi-day excursions. Lebanon's #1 tour bus company, providing monthly casino trips. Sands of Bethlehem, Resort of Atlantic City, Mohegan Sun of Pocono Downs. Go to www.tuxedotour.com or give us a call, 717-269-3124.
Well, well-earned couple bags of ice for Jared Lakin tonight. A quality start against the league's best lineup. 8 hits, 2 runs in 6 innings. He walked 1, struck out 6. The only dent ultimately was the 2-run home run by Franco back in the 4th inning. Ryan Dent will lead off the 7th against Pedro Echemendia, who inherits a 7-run lead. Lakin with his 7th quality start of the season. 5 of those have been on the road. Echemendia's first delivery is below the knees, ball 1 to Dent, who has walked and struck out. Next delivery off, catches the outside corner on the way through, 1-1. It's not where they catch it, it's where it crosses the front of the plate, or sometimes the back of the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. The count on Dent. Echemendia to the plate, and that ball is crushed down the left field line. Back it goes. That is fair and a home run. Ryan Dent makes it 9-3 with his 7th home run of the season. A rather rude greeting to Pedro Echemendia. That is just the 2nd home run Pedro has given up as a Barnstormer. And it was long and it was loud. TJ Rivera, the only other man to get to him. So it's 9-3. And in steps Zach Sullivan, who is 1 for 2. Barnstormers relievers this year, maybe more than any year I can recall, have been prone to giving up home runs. The pitch now to Sullivan is good for a strike. It is 0-1. Well, it's still a 6-run lead for the Barnstormers, but you just don't want York to get up ahead of steam. This team has been able to put together 6, 7-run innings in the blink of an eye. Fouled away by Sullivan. And Echemendia has him at no balls and 2 strikes. Pedro comes back, skips it to the plate. Knocked down by De La Rosa for ball 1. It is 1-2. Matt Marksberry early in the year was prone to giving up home runs to the first batter that he faced. He did it 5 times. It has happened once to Gindel, once to Epley. And now Echemendia has it occur. 1 ball, 2 strikes, fouled back by Sullivan, and the count will continue. I'm actually a fan against these lineups like York of throwing lefties against them, and Reed had success for a while last night. Lakin a good outing. 1-2 pitch to Sullivan, banged into center field for a base hit. York is still alive. They won't give up, even down by 7. Sullivan with a single. Designated hitter Justin Trapp will come to the plate. Echemendia was 1-0 in 20 appearances and a 2.11 ERA coming into tonight. Trapp to the plate with Sullivan on and nobody out here in the 7th inning. Ross Peoples just hasn't known quite what to do with this bullpen this year, and you can't fault him. Breaking ball delivered for a called strike. It is 0-1 on Trapp. And that nobody has been entirely reliable in a slot. Not even Schumann, who usually has been an automatic 0 in the 8th inning. The 0-1 pitch, breaking ball off the wrists and foul. Echemendia has Trapp at 0-2. Now, this is nothing that a double play won't take care of right now. But it's 9-3, and the stadium is getting loud again as York seems to be on the prowl. Lancaster just put up 3 runs in the top of the inning that you would think would have put the game away. Breaking ball, lined left field, another hanging breaking pitch. Sullivan to second, Trapp is on, and again it's 0-2 and a base hit. And York is very much in this game. The Barnstormers rush to get somebody else loose in the bullpen. As Wellington Dotel comes to the plate, Dotel is 0 for 3. Oh, there is activity in the York bullpen. They get Burton throwing. First and second here with nobody out in the bottom of the 7th inning. Tonight, the Barnstormers do score the additional runs. York's offense erupts against Echemendia here in the 7th inning, and the Barnstormers get extra action going. A first pitch strike to Dotel. It is 0-1. Hitless tonight after going 3 for 3 last night is Wellington Dotel. Sullivan, the runner at second. Trapp aboard at first base. With Sam Burton throwing on one side, and we'll have to be told who is going in the Lancaster bullpen. Garrett Granitz, who threw 2 innings last night, but of course, as a Submariner, he is fairly durable. 0-1, the count on Dotel. The next delivery knocks him down. It's a ball and a strike. We talked about how the Revs love to crowd the inside corner in this right-handed hitter's ballpark, and Echemendia just delivered a statement. 1 ball, 1 strike with Sullivan at second, Trapp at first here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Barnstormers trying to draw even in this current series. They trail 8-3 this year in the Community Cup Series. 1-1 to Dotel. Bouncer along the third base line, gloved in foul territory on a wonderful play by Terdoslavich, but it's simply 1-2. I don't know that Joe would have been able to get an out from that position had that ball been fair. 1-2. The count to Dotel. Telvin Nash is on deck. You look at this York lineup like you look at most lineups. Well, if we can get through this guy, then things get better. It doesn't happen all the way through. 1-2, and it bounces away from De La Rosa. To third goes Sullivan. To second goes Trapp on the wild pitch. And that takes the double play possibility away. The count to Wellington Dotel is now 2-2. And the problem is that the Revs saw Granitz last night. And he's a guy, deception is more the name of the game. He had a great outing a night ago to keep the Barnstormers within a run. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Dotel here as York keeps getting closer. The pitch cut on and fouled back on a wicked rip by Wellington Dotel. 2 balls and 2 strikes, still nobody out in the inning. The Revs now with 11 hits in the ball game. And this ballpark is getting loud. 2 balls, 2 strikes once again. Here's the pitch. Dotel swings and misses. Big out for Echemendia. Trying to settle things down here in the 7th inning. 7th strikeout of a Revs batter tonight. 1 away, and now Nash will step in at 1 for 3. York as a ball club has hit .323 with 400 runs and 93 home runs in its last 60 ball games. If you can imagine that kind of production. Tonight, 11 hits in 28 official at-bats. Well, that's .393. 1 home run. They have 3 runs on the board, 2 in scoring position here. And to Nash, a fastball well off the outside corner, 1 ball and no strikes. Isaias Tejeda waits on deck. As I said, most lineups, if we get through this guy, then we get a breather. It does not happen with this York batting order. 1 ball, no strikes on the league homer and RBI leader. Echemendia comes back, gets a bouncer that's foul in behind Polanco in the third base coach's box. Ball 1, strike 1 to Nash. As long as the Barnstormers keep this from being a big inning, they're still in pretty decent shape. Sullivan at third, Trapp at second with 1 out. Echemendia goes to work on Nash. Breaking ball cut on and missed. Make it 1-2. First base is open, but not the time to use it. Part of the reason Nash has been as successful as he has been is that he's got Tejeda protecting him. But that goes all the way through and around this lineup, because you do not get a breather with the next guy, and that's even been true with the utility outfielder, the 23-year-old Sullivan, who currently stands at third. He's 2 for 3 in the ball game, and neither one of those hits has exactly been soft. 1-2, the count on the bopper Nash. 1 out in the inning. Echemendia gets the signal from De La Rosa. Ready to go. Here's the pitch, and Nash takes ball 2 just low. Echemendia thought he had that one, and Stu's York relative would not give it to him. It is now 2 balls and 2 strikes. That would have been a huge turnaround had Nash gone down looking there. He was out swinging in the 6th inning against Lakeland. Echemendia now working to the first baseman at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runners lead off second and third. Echemendia ready to go. This pitch is low, and clearly so, to go to 3-2. Isaias Tejeda waits on deck. The Revs' biggest inning for the season has been the 5th. They have scored 94 runs in the 5th inning. .577 runs for them this season. To Nash, a bounder foul, still 3-2. Tense moments now in the bottom of the 7th, when it looked like the Barnstormers had pretty much iced this game with 3 more in the top of the inning. 9-3 the score. Again, something like a sacrifice fly or an RBI ground out, not the worst thing in the world here. You just don't want to let Nash get on base as well. 3 balls, 2 strikes to him from Pedro Echemendia. Sullivan off third, Trapp off second. Pedro ready to go. Motion, 3-2 pitch is off the outside corner. He walked him, and the tying run is closer to getting to the plate. Isaias Tejeda will step in. He is 2 for 3. Echemendia thought at one point he had Nash struck out, but the pitch ruled by the electronic system as a ball, being just a hair low. Ross Peoples now out to remove Echemendia, who's only able to get 1 out here in the 7th inning. Granite's will take over, and we'll take a break and pause to hear from some of our favorite people.
Clipper Magazine Stadium, we have hot dogs and popcorn, peanuts, soda, and nachos. But what if, say, you are only 3 months old and mom wants to have a night out and watch the Barnstormers? Well, thanks to May Grant Obstetrics and Gynecology, the littlest of Stormer fans now have a place to go for dinner during the game. Tots can take mom to the Little Sluggers dugout behind Section 13 at the stadium for a comfortable private feeding experience. A brightly painted room with comfortable furniture and TVs tuned to the game, it is the perfect spot for baby and mom during a night at the ballpark.
Tuxedo Tour and Travel. If you want to be there, we'll get you there. New York, Washington, D.C. We service all casinos, day trips, or multi-day excursions. Lebanon's #1 tour bus company, providing monthly casino trips. Sands of Bethlehem, Resort of Atlantic City, Mohegan Sun of Pocono Downs. Go to www.tuxedotour.com or give us a call, 717-269-3124.
Garrett Granitz comes in with the bases loaded and 1 out in the bottom of the 7th inning with Isaias Tejeda due at the plate. And then the left-handed batting Carlos Franco. Pedro Echemendia allows 3 hits and a run. All 3 men aboard are his. He walked 1, struck out 1, and also uncorked a wild pitch. He got the strikeout of Dotel for the only out in the inning. Granitz takes over. Garrett threw 2 innings last night, and by my count, 29 pitches. He faced 6 batters and struck out 3, and the good thing is he did not face Tejeda, he did not face Franco, and if need be, Mesa. So he's not seeing the same batters that he saw a night ago. Granitz is 0-2 in 36 appearances. His ERA 4.62, 54 hits in 48 2/3 innings. He has walked 27 and struck out 19. But again, if you take out the spot starts, his ERA is somewhere in the mid-3s. Tejeda, the batter, a right-handed hitting catcher, 2 out of 3 with a run scored tonight. At third is Sullivan. At second is Trapp. At first is Nash. And Granitz looking to come in and coax a ground ball out of Tejeda. He did not get anybody to hit a ground ball last night, which is odd. 9-3, bottom of the 7th inning. Just when you thought this game might be safe, we get to this. Can Granitz get Echemendia and his ball club out of it? He's got a tough part of the order to Tejeda. A sidearm pitch stays in too close. It is ball 1 and no strikes. Barnstormers have the infield at a deep double play depth. Neither Nash nor Tejeda runs well. They have a little bit more room to be able to cut a ball off and possibly turn 2. Ball 1, no strikes on Tejeda. Granitz brings it home. The ball is fisted to short center. Sprinting back on it is Martinez. He reels it in, and everybody is forced to hold. Wonderful play by Michael Martinez in shallow left center for the 2nd out of the inning. That play was enormous. Martinez gets a star in the scorebook, and now the left-handed batting Carlos Franco will come to the plate. Franco with a 2-run home run in the 4th. His lone hit against Lakin, his lone hit of the series. This is still a really dicey spot. Martinez's great play just helped out. 2 outs with the bases loaded. Granitz just needs to get the hitter to protect the 6-run lead. Franco digging in. First time he has gotten to face a right-hander in the series, albeit a peculiar one. Inside for a ball. And to Franco, it is 1-0. Franco on the year, hitting .356 against right-handers. The delivery is in. Granitz will work to him at a ball and a strike. Bases loaded now with 2 outs. Mesa is on deck. It just doesn't get any easier. To Franco, that's a mile outside. 2 balls and a strike. Granite's able to procure the second out of the inning. 2-1 against a guy who would be leading the league in batting if he had enough plate appearances. The 2-1 offering, bouncing ball right side, taken by Hobson. He'll underhand to Granite's, and Garrett, with the help of his defense, does a mighty job here in the bottom of the 7th inning to get the Barnstormers out of the ditch. It's just a 1-run inning for the Revs and a lot of scare otherwise. 3 hits with no errors. York strands 3, and will go to the 8th inning with the Barnstormers ahead 9-3.
Remove the wrong piece and the whole structure might fall apart. No, I'm not talking about the Barnstormers lineup. I'm talking about the life-size Jenga game that is part of the Subaru outdoor experience down the right field line at Clipper Magazine Stadium. There's ping pong, huge dice to roll, and more. Trivia contests take place before every Saturday home game. Group bookings are available, so enjoy the games while at the game and come to the Subaru outdoor experience just below the Broken Bat deck.
Picking one thing over the other can be hard.
Toast or avocado toast?
Ooh, 4 or 5-inch heels.
But with pick games from the Pennsylvania Lottery, drawn twice daily, picking's as easy as 2, 3, 4, or 5. Plus, add Wild Ball to any pick game for even more chances to win. It's simple.
Hey, what'll it be? Give me a pick 2, please. Oh, and add Wild Ball. I'm feeling pretty lucky.
Play pick games today from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Sam Burton has come on for the York Revolution. He's the 5th pitcher used by Mark Mason here tonight. Julio Perez worked last inning. He gave up 3 hits, 2 walks, 3 runs, of which 2 were earned. Destin Hood leads off against Burton, and the first pitch is awry. Ball 1, no strikes. Hood 1 out of 3 in the ball game. He's fouled out twice, but has an RBI single. Pulls the trigger on a slider and misses. It is 1-1. Burton, 6'4", 240-pounder from Lexington, Kentucky, 26 years of age. Entering with his club trailing by 6 to Hood. Ball 2, barely low, and a 2-1 count. Burton in his 9th ball game, including a couple of starts, no record and a 6.39 ERA. He's walked 15 in 12 2/3 innings. To Hood, 2-1. Destin gets ball 3, high and inside. The Barnstormers have had a very productive night at the plate. 9 runs, 11 hits. They have gotten the runners home. They've gotten the big RBI base hits along the way. And now a walk to Hood to start off the 8th inning. That happens to be the 8th walk from York pitching tonight. Casey Hobson to the plate. Well, I take that back. A second strike was recorded in there somewhere. So it's 3-2. Well, TrackMan gets me again. Payoff pitch is due from Burton, and Hood swats it foul off to the right. Logan Sawyer warming up in the bullpen for the Barnstormers to face Mesa, Nina, and Dent in the bottom of the 8th inning. You wonder what it takes to deliver a knockout blow to the York Revolution. Well, I haven't figured that out yet. To Hood, 3-2, and he gets hit. So instead of a walk, an HBP. The Barnstormers have their leadoff man on in the 8th inning with Hobson to step in. The walk would have been a little less painful. And now we're going to get a pinch runner, Darian Sanford, finally into the ball game. He'll run for Destin Hood here in the 8th inning. And Hobson will come to the plate. Ross Peoples has now used just about everybody that's available. Josh Bell is the only guy back along with Greg Golson, but we haven't seen Greg play in a while. First pitch out of the zone to Hobson, ball 1. Swing and a miss by Casey. Tough night for him. He's fouled out, struck out, and grounded out twice. The 2 or 3 times he's hit the ball hard. He has hit it extremely hard and very foul. Sanford still being held at first base, which gives you an idea how confident that York is that it can come back in the ball game. 2 balls and a strike now to Hobson as a breaking ball is off the inside corner. That is outside, 3-1. I have to wait to be sure. Michael Martinez, who made a brilliant defensive play in the bottom half of the 7th inning, waits on deck. What a catch on a foul pop-up straight back over his head. 3-1 to Hobson. That bends into the zone. The count full at 3-2. You have to think the Barnstormers could still use more. They've done plenty. The club has played extremely well here tonight. And a Hobson 3-2 is strike 3 called on the outside corner. Hobson was ready to head to first base. 1 out, runner on. Martinez will step in. Martinez has walked twice and scored twice. Burton to the set. Martinez takes a breaking ball inside and low. Ball 1, no strikes. Anderson De La Rosa on deck for the Barnstormers. Lancaster with 3 3-run innings in the ball game. The Barnstormers have left 9 men on base to York's 8. Driven down the right field line now by Martinez. That will hop into the corner. Sanford is on the fly. Dotel will peg into the cutoff man. Sanford will stay at third. Martinez arriving safely at second with a double into the right field corner. Anderson De La Rosa will come to the plate. De La Rosa 1 for 1, and he has scored. The Barnstormers with their 6th extra base hit of the game, putting runners to second and third with 1 out. De La Rosa batting with Mercedes on deck. The infield will play in. And you still want to get at least one of these runs home. The way York can put on a savage attack. Infielders play up. Burton goes to work on De La Rosa. The first pitch is a called strike, 0-1. Plenty of room for De La Rosa to put a ball through here. Sam Burton comes to the set. De La Rosa swinging and missing at a breaking ball, and it's 0-2. 12 Barnstormers base hits in the game. A 13th would really break it back open. Sanford off third, Martinez off second. De La Rosa won't chase a pitch out of the zone. That is ball one. Tejeda actually set up out there. De La Rosa read it early. Josh Bell now coaching third. Troy Steffi over at first. The Barnstormers lead by 6 to De La Rosa. Swing and a miss at a fastball. Oh, he has gone on strikes, and this inning is left up to Mercedes. Melvin 2 for 4, and he has scored twice in the game. The defense now will move back. Under most circumstances, Sanford scores on the Martinez double. Josh Bell, with the 6-run lead, was being conservative, and most of the time I would agree with that decision. Against York here, I'm not so sure. And now Mercedes is hit. Slider really ran in on him. He tried to dive out of the way and couldn't get all the way there. Devon Torrance, for the second straight inning, will bat with the bases loaded. Came up with a huge 2-run single in the 7th, off the wall in left field. We'll see if he can do something to match it here. Sanford at third. At second is Martinez, and at first is Mercedes. Torrance has 13 runs batted in now for the season. The pitch to him from Burton is across for a strike. It's 0-1. Runners lead from all stations. Torrance swings and misses at a hook, and Burton has him set up at 0-2. 9-3, Barnstormers lead here in the 8th. Sawyer will pitch to the 6, 7, and 8 hitters in the bottom of the inning. Torrance awaiting the 0-2 from Sam Burton. Runners leading from everywhere. Time is called. Now the Barnstormers use Sanford to pinch run for Hood, and then don't score him on the double into the right field corner. But I think I get it. It seems weird. Ground ball, third base. Waiting back on it is the third baseman, Franco. He goes to tag Martinez, and he misses. Everybody is safe. And it's 10-3. Burton walking off the field, assuming he got the final out. Franco went for the force out, trying to tag Martinez, and Martinez dove around the tag. A 10th run on the board for the Barnstormers, and here is Gindel. That was a weird little play. Torrance safe on the fielder's choice, and guess you got to give him an RBI there. What a strange play. Here's Gindel with the bases full. 2 runs batted in for Caleb tonight. 1 on a home run that had to go about 400 feet to right center, and the other on a ball that went 10 feet from home plate. He is officially 1 out of 3 in the ball game. Martinez at third, Mercedes at second, Torrance aboard at first. Breaking ball spins back to the outside corner, and Gindel bats at 1-1. 10-3 Lancaster in the top of the 8th inning. A ball and a strike. Fastball runs wide. And Gindel has a 2-ball and 1-strike advantage. Well, let's see if we can pick up the exact ruling. I can't see anything other than fielder's choice and an RBI for Torrance. And you may never see that again with 2 outs and the bases loaded in your life. Ever. I always tell you, you'll see something different every time you go to the ballpark, and that's tonight's edition. 2-1. Gindel with a pop-up foul out of play to the left. We go to 2-2. Just checking to see that Brian Wisner and I are on the same page. And the answer is yes. Fielder's choice, RBI. Gindel batting 2-2 against Burton. Here's the delivery, and it is off the inside corner, ball 3. And again, York started to head off the field. Burton has thought he's been out of this inning at least twice. Now a full count, and everybody is on the move. Martinez, Mercedes, and Torrance will all be departing. Gindel up there at 3 balls and 2 strikes. The motion and the pitch is lined to right field. Dotel can't get to it on the fly. This will score 1, and coming around as well is Mercedes, and it's now 12-3 on a 4 RBI night for Caleb Gindel. Joe Turdoslavich will come to the plate at 1-for-4 with a home run. The 4th 3-run inning of the night for the Barnstormers. Burton would have been out of the inning had Franco not missed the tag on Martinez. Gindel knocks in 2 more. Turdoslavich takes a breaking ball in too close. It is 1-0. Torrance went to third on the Gindel base hit. Breaking ball. This gets the outside part of the plate, and it is now 1-1. Caleb Gindel is once again on a 100 RBI pace with his work tonight. Bounder foul. It's 1-2. He would love to get there. And he's batting currently out of the leadoff spot at a 4 RBI night tonight because the bottom of the order has been very productive. Turdoslavich swings and misses. Burton gets all 3 outs of the inning on strikes. But around those, the Barnstormers pick up 3 runs on 2 hits with no errors. They leave 2. A couple of batters hit by pitches. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Lancaster leading 12-3.
At Clipper Magazine Stadium, we have hot dogs and popcorn, peanuts, soda, and nachos. But what if, say, you are only 3 months old and mom wants to have a night out and watch the Barnstormers? Well, thanks to May Grant Obstetrics and Gynecology, the littlest of Stormer fans now have a place to go for dinner during the game. Tots can take mom to the Little Sluggers dugout behind Section 13 at the stadium for a comfortable private feeding experience. A brightly painted room with comfortable furniture and TVs tuned to the game, it is the perfect spot for baby and mom during a night at the ballpark.
The constant energy, the tight turns and bustle of the city. Some survive it, others were made to conquer it. The first ever Lexus UX and UX F-Sport crossovers are crafted for those who were made for the city. UX, starting at $32,000. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
MSRP excludes delivery, processing, and handling fee of $1,025, which may be subject to change at any time. Excludes taxes, title, license, and optional equipment. Dealer price will vary.
Barnstormers go to pitcher number 4. Logan Sawyer is on for the bottom of the 8th inning with the Barnstormers leading 12-3. Heroic effort for Garrett Granitz. He only went 2/3 of an inning, but might have been the biggest 2/3 of an inning in the game. He inherited loaded bases with York starting to go on a rampage, and he shut them down with the help of Martinez glove. Now here is Melky Mesa leading off against Sawyer in the bottom of the 8th. First pitch fired high. It is ball 1 and no strikes. Sawyer in his 30th game. He is 1-0 with a 6.44 earned run average. Most of that courtesy of the Sugar Land Skeeters. They've been his nemesis. Ball 2 is high to Mesa, 2-0. Sawyer trying to maybe work out some kinks right now. He has not pitched in a week. The 2-0 offering finds its way to the knees. A called strike on Mesa, 2-1. Sawyer went an inning and a third against the Long Island Ducks last Saturday night. He gave up 1 hit and walked 3, but didn't allow any runs. Fouled back by Mesa. It is 2-2. Melky Mesa, a single and a double in the ball game tonight. Maybe the biggest break the Barnstormers and certainly Jared Lakeland received in this game was when Mesa's double caught the top corner of the arch nemesis toward left center field. And they never scored that inning. 2-2, swing and a miss against Sawyer, who drilled a fastball past Mesa, 1 out here in the 8th inning. Anulis Nina will come to the plate. He is 0 for 3. The Barnstormers have left 11 runners on base along the way tonight. They have 13 hits. They've drawn 7 walks and had 2 batters hit. Well, that's a boatload of base runners. 1 out and a chopper to third. Long hop played by Turdoslavich, who has a long time for the throw. He arches it across the diamond. Nina retired. 2 outs. Ryan Dent to the plate. Dent hit a blast down the left field line to greet Pedro Echemendia back in the 7th. Every other pitcher tonight that the Barnstormers have used has been effective. Echemendia had a rough one, fortunately not a costly one. More often than not, he is one of the most effective pitchers out of the Barnstormers bullpen. But tonight was not his night. Granite's came in and rescued that inning, and that's what's called team play. 12-3 Lancaster. Here is Dent. Sawyer to the plate, missing outside for ball 1. His fastball being clocked at 92. Barnstormers 4 outs away from drawing even in this series and getting back to within 6.5 in the standings. Fastball for a strike. 1-1 the count to Dent. Alvaro Rondon, a position player, warming up in the bullpen for the York Revolution, and he has been used before this year. Sawyer to Dent, 1-1. That's at the knees for a second strike, 1-2. Elsewhere in the league, Long Island has beaten High Point 4-2. Southern Maryland knocks off Somerset 9-7. New Britain leads Sugar Land 4-0 in the top of the 9th inning. Right now, it's looking like a pretty good night for Stan Clyburn and crew. Barnstormers in control here, and Sugar Land is losing. Here's a 2-2 to Dent, fouled off. Sawyer needs to continue to work here in the 8th inning. Southern Maryland looking to pull back to within 2 of first place in the Freedom Division. We're halfway through the second half. Can you imagine that? We're at the 3/4 mark of the season already. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Dent. Sawyer ready to go, and his fastball is popped up first base side, giving Chase Hobson, but he'll have to quit on it. A fan apparently made a nice play over on the first base side. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the holding count. And Long Island moves back ahead of High Point in the Liberty Division. High Point, though, still in charge when it comes to the wild card race. Well, they've got a number of different opportunities to get to the postseason. High Point up next for the Barnstormers. Sawyer 2-2, high and outside for ball 3. York might not make it. If Sugar Land gets past them here in the second half, and Somerset should happen to catch fire. Somerset's only a half back in the race for a second wild card spot. 3-2 with 2 outs. Sawyer deals. That's a hot hit ground ball foul, just foul down the third base line. And Denton Sawyer will go at it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Zach Sullivan waits on deck. 42-27, the crowd tonight here at Peoples Bank Park. This is a smaller facility than Clipper Magazine Stadium by a few rows. 3-2 to Dent. Sawyer ready to go. The payoff pitch, wrapped back to the hill. Sawyer saves it and lobs a throw to first for a 1-2-3 inning. Nice defensive play by Logan Sawyer to close out the 8th. We'll go to the 9th, and the Barnstormers are up 12-3.
The National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum is a place with thousands of stories to be told. It's a place to relive baseball's greatest moments and share them with future generations. It's a place to experience the game and how it has shaped our history. Cooperstown is a destination with something for the entire family. Our stories to tell, your memories to share. Plan your trip to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown at baseballhall.org.
Enjoy baseball and stay in shape. The Lancaster Barnstormers have a great package for our more experienced fans to do both. The Silver Stormers package is open to all fans 55 and above. Get a ticket to all Tuesday home games. Take a walk around our beautiful stadium during the day on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And get a Silver Stormers t-shirt to sport to all of these events. The Silver Stormers is presented by A&E Audiology and Hearing Aid Center. Sign up today at the stadium or at LancasterBarnstormers.com.
So Alvaro Rondon will take over. He is a utility infielder. You know him from the Sugarland Skeeters a year ago. And he's been with York for part of this season. His first offering to Andrew Applin is called a strike, 0-1. Applin 2 out of 4 tonight. A double, a single, 2 runs batted in. He's also drawn a walk. Rondon comes back. Applin pops it up to the second baseman. This should be easy for Nina. He makes the catch, and there is 1 gone. Darian Sanford gets a trip to the plate. Sanford pinch ran and scored in the 8th inning. He is technically the designated hitter, something you will not see Darian do very often. If he's in the lineup, he's usually in center field. That's why I thought Ross would go to him in the 6th inning when all those changes were needed initially. A ball is inside to Sanford. Hobson on deck. He's the one guy in the lineup that's had a rough night. Darian skies at the center. This will be little trouble for Sullivan. Center fielder camping underneath for the catch. That is out number 2. Turning it over to Hobson. He is 0 for 5. 13 hits for the Barnstormers along the way tonight. And the 12-3 lead. Sullivan, Trapp, and Dotel are scheduled in the bottom of the 9th inning. Hobson digs in. Rondon to the plate and a strike. It is 0-1. Second time Rondon has been used off the mound by Mark Mason in these conditions in a one-sided ball game to save the rest of the arms out of the bullpen. To KC, and he just got under it. A towering fly ball to right field. Dotel is there to make the catch, and Rondon throws a 1-2-3 inning on just 6 pitches in the top half of the 9th. So we'll go to the bottom of the 9th. The Barnstormers need 3 outs to keep the Community Cup in Lancaster at least until York's next visit. The score, Lancaster 12 and York 3.
Lancaster Bible College has been around since 1933, but did you know that they offer degrees in much more than just Bible? LBC offers degrees in criminal justice, business, professional counseling, and more, as well as graduate and seminary degrees in areas like Christian care, chaplaincy, education, and leadership studies. To learn more about LBC and the programs they offer, visit lbc.edu. That's lbc.edu.
Picking one thing over the other can be hard.
Toast or avocado toast?
Ooh, 4 or 5-inch heels.
But with pick games from the Pennsylvania Lottery, drawn twice daily, picking's as easy as 2, 3, 4, or 5. Plus, add Wild Ball to any pick game for even more chances to win. It's simple.
Hey, what'll it be? Give me a pick 2, please. Oh, and add Wild Ball. I'm feeling pretty lucky.
Play pick games today from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Zach Sullivan will come to the plate for the York Revolution, leading off the 9th inning against Logan Sawyer. The Barnstormers own a 12-3 advantage here. Sullivan 2 for 3 in the ball game. The Barnstormers have gone halfway through the 6th time in the batting order tonight here in the 9th inning. Now to Sawyer. It is just inside for a ball to Sullivan, 1-0. 11 hits for York in the ball game, but they have managed to turn them into only 3 runs. Next delivery is off the outside corner. Sawyer missing, and Sullivan bats 2-0. He's been impressive so far tonight. Guy who came out of the Florida State League. Swing and a miss. Big cut against Sawyer. And now it is 2-1. But not only have we seen the couple of scorched singles off Sullivan's bat, but a great throw from center field in the 2nd inning. 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Sawyer going up and in with a fastball. It is 2-2. And he has stolen a bases, Sullivan. Well, York seems to have unearthed another gem here. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the right-handed batting Sullivan. Sawyer comes back. That is swung on and missed. A fastball away. Sullivan goes down. Sawyer strikes out his 2nd. And that'll bring on Justin Trapp, who is 2 out of 4. And the Barnstormers are 2 outs away from picking up a win here tonight. Trapp with base hits his last 2 trips. One against Lakeland and one against Echemendia. Sawyer deals. That's at the knees for a strike. We haven't seen much other than fastballs out of Logan, certainly this inning. No balls, 1 strike to Trapp. Sawyer, there's a breaking ball, but it's high. 1-1. Dotel is on deck. Boy, has he had to run down baseballs to right field tonight off the Barnstormers' lefty sticks. Swing and a miss. Sawyer powering a fastball past Trapp. It's 1-2. And fastballs right now, I would think against the position players. Trapp is not. He's the DH. But against the position players, a pretty good idea. They've been out on the field a long time tonight. They've got to be weary. Into the dirt. And it gets away from De La Rosa. 2-2. Anderson De La Rosa came in the 6th inning to spell Parker Morin and Gope, both leaving the game at the same time. And we're told one under the weather, the other one banged up. Don't know which is which. And hopefully both are available tomorrow. Trapp bats 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. Sawyer to the plate, and this is knocked to right center field. Gindel a long way to go, and he will run it down. Nice play by Gindel, and Logan Sawyer shows a sign of approval to his right fielder. 2 outs in the inning. Gindel went a long way to track that one into the gap in right center field. Wellington Dotel is the final hope tonight for the York Revolution. Dotel is 0 for 4. 2 strikeouts, 2 groundouts for the right fielder. There have been many balls hit in his direction tonight. Sawyer's pitch, chopped to third, charging in Terdoslavich, and he swats it forward back towards Sawyer. No play available, and York will remain alive. Terdoslavich charged in, tried to scoop up a short hop. It'll go down as an infield single for Dotel, his first hit of the game. Telvin Nash to the plate. Nash 1 out of 3 with a walk. It could have ended the game. Terdoslavich couldn't come up with the dig. Dotel is not going to be held at first base. Hobson playing well in back of him. Again, for the last 4 innings, it's been Terdoslavich at third, Martinez at short, Mercedes at second, and Hobson at first, with Applin in left, Torrance in center, and Gindel in right. De La Rosa catching. 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Nash. Popped up foul, backing out of play. No balls and a strike. And ordinarily, I would not necessarily recommend a diet of fastballs to Telvin Nash, but I got to think those bats are tired. Sawyer is not the hardest thrower on the ball club. That would be Schumann, but he's probably second out of the bullpen. The 0-1. This is hit in the air to right field, hit pretty well. Backtracking again is Gindel. Caleb has a play in front of the track. He makes the catch for the final out. And the Barnstormers will be able to keep the cup in Lancaster at least until York's next visit. Now, the Barnstormers with the huge victory tonight over the York Revolution, as Lancaster in this one was able to pick the momentum back up in the 7th inning and put extra runs on the board. They keep York at bay. We'll be back with the wrap-up show coming your way next. The final tonight, the Lancaster Barnstormers 12 and the York Revolution 3.
Tuxedo Tour and Travel, your go-to motor coach bus company. Supplying your motor coach needs from day trips to multi-day excursions. Trips to New York, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., San Francisco, and all points in between. We can provide you with an itinerary or fulfill all your trip's transportation needs. Providing casino trips monthly. Go to www.tuxedotour.com or give us a call at 717-269-3124.
There's a new force in town. Know any young baseball fans? Make sure they're a part of the Storm Force Kids Club presented by Commonwealth Charter Academy. For only $25, kids receive 12 field box tickets. To go with the tickets, the Storm Force members will get a backpack, a t-shirt, an invitation to Silo's birthday party, and a chance to meet Barnstormer players over a bowl of ice cream, plus a lot more. What's better than that? Sign up at LancasterBarnstormers.com or stop by the stadium to get those kids involved.
The checkerboard pattern of this road trip continues, and in some ways it's very enjoyable, especially when you look at the Barnstormers team numbers. In other ways, incredibly frustrating because the Barnstormers could be unbeaten on this trip. Lancaster has outscored its opposition 34-15 in these 5 games away from Clipper Magazine Stadium, but they have alternately won routes and lost close ones. 7-1, then losing 4-3, then winning 7-1, losing 6-5, and tonight a 12-3 victory for the Lancaster Barnstormers. And again, this team far better than the one-loss record. Sometimes you, in the overall scheme of things, have to put that one-loss record out of your mind. Ultimately, it's the most important thing, but these guys are accomplishing quite a bit here in the second half. For the Barnstormers tonight, 12 runs, 13 hits, no errors, and 11 left. York 3 runs on 12 hits with 1 error, and the Revs leave 9. Jared Lakin with the win, 6-5. Anytime you throw a quality start against the Revs, you deserve a tip of the cap. So Lakin gets that here tonight. He has pitched better away from Clipper Magazine Stadium. So he gets the victory here tonight. His 7th quality start of the year. 5 of those have been away from home. And again, a great outing for Lakin tonight against this York Revolution ball club. The loss to the starter, Ricky Schaefer. He is now 2-2 with the Revs. No save tonight with the lopsided ball game. The win goes, or home runs rather, I should say, to Carlos Franco for York, a 2-run shot in the 4th inning. The only 2 runs scored off of Lakin. The Barnstormers went back-to-back in the 4th with Caleb Gindel and Joe Turtoslavich leaving the ballpark. Gindel against Schaefer going to right center, and Turtoslavich against the reliever Walby going to left center field. The Barnstormers with those 2 home runs tonight. They've homered in 9 consecutive games. 3 hours, 22 minutes. The time of the game tonight, 4,227, the crowd here at Peoples Bank Park. The Barnstormers put 3 runs on the board in the 2nd inning. They scored on a ground rule double by Gift and Gope a few innings before Gift was pulled from the ball game. A ground rule double to left center field, driving in Michael Martinez, and then later in the inning, Andrew Applin with a big 2-run single, bases loaded, 2 outs at the time, as the Barnstormers were ahead at that point 3-0. They extended it to 6-0 with a salvo of power in the 4th inning. Gindel and Turtoslavich with back-to-back home runs. Applin with a double to right field down the line, and then Destin Hood ripping a single all the way to the wall in left center field. It was bobbled out there for an error, charged to the center fielder Zach Sullivan. Applin was going to score anyway. Hood with the RBI on the play. The Barnstormers were up 6-0. Lakin, for the 4th consecutive inning, retired the first 2 batters in the bottom of the 4th inning, but then Isaias Tejeda beat out a ground ball to the hole at short, diving grab made by Michael Martinez, but he couldn't get off a good throw. Franco went to the opposite field for the 2-run home run over the arch nemesis to make it 6-2. It stayed that way for a while, and there were some shades of last night where the Barnstormers had a 4-run lead coming out of the 4th inning and could not secure it, losing 6-5. The Barnstormers' bats were quiet for 2 2/3 innings. Melky Mesa hit a ball that barely stayed in the ballpark for a double in the 6th inning. Tejeda just going from 1st to 3rd, and that kept York from scoring there, preserving the 6-2 lead. And the Barnstormers were able to stretch it out tonight in the 7th inning with Julio Perez on the mound. 1 out into the inning. Michael Martinez drew a walk. Anderson De La Rosa banged a single into center. Melvin Mercedes lined a single into left. That loaded the bases with 1 out. Devon Torrance, in his first at-bat tonight, sliced a fly ball down the left field line. It glanced off the wall in the corner for a 2-run single. The Barnstormers at that point were up 8-2. Runners moved to 2nd and 3rd on a pass ball, and Caleb Gindel was able to drive in 1 more with a nubber between the mound and home plate. The plate was left unprotected, and the Barnstormers were able to get Mercedes home with the 3rd run of the inning for a 9-2 lead. The bottom of the 7th, though, was scary. York has put together 6, 7, 8-run innings almost at will this season. The inning started with Pedro Echemendia taking over for Jared Lakin. Ryan Dent greeted him with a booming home run down the left field line. That made it 9-3. And by the time Echemendia was lifted from the ballgame, the bases were loaded with 1 out, and you had the meat of the order coming up. Garrett Granitz came in and rescued the inning. He got Isaias Tejeda to hit a pop-up behind shortstop. Michael Martinez went back and made the defensive play of the game. That was the 2nd out of the inning. And then the tough out that is Carlos Franco grounded to Casey Hobson, ending the inning with the bases loaded. From that point on, the Barnstormers had control of the game. They would add 3 more runs in the 8th inning, 1 on a very squirrely fielder's choice for Torrance, who drove in his third run of the game. Caleb Gindel lined a 2-run single into right to cap the scoring tonight. The Barnstormers victorious 12-3. 4 runs batted in along the way for Gindel tonight. He now has 74 on the season. Hitting streaks were extended. Applin to 6. Joe Turdoslavich now has hit in 8 games in a row. And Anderson De La Rosa has extended a current hitting streak to 6 games, and he did it coming off the bench. Great work out of the bullpen tonight for Garrett Granitz and Logan Sawyer, and again, a very, very commendable start for Jared Lakend here this evening. In the rest of the Atlantic League, Long Island victorious over High Point. The Ducks regain the top spot in the Liberty Division here in the second half. The Southern Maryland Blue Crabs with a 9-7 win over the Somerset Patriots tonight. And Sugar Land making some noise in the bottom of the 9th inning. New Britain is up 5-1. I'm sure that the York Revolution very anxious for that game to come to a close with Sugar Land on the losing end. If so, York will stay tied for first in the second half. The Barnstormers are back to within 6.5. It's a long road ahead, but it is possible for the Barnstormers to get back into the race. They just have to put together wins and not just well-played ball games. The Barnstormers have had really a tremendous road trip. They have played great baseball. They haven't thrown away games, but they have had a couple slip out of their grasp in the middle to late innings after having a decent-sized lead in both of those losses. So we'll be back at it with York 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. We'll tell you more about that in a moment. We'll quickly check the Major League scoreboard. In 13 innings tonight, the Tampa Bay Rays defeated the Detroit Tigers 1-0. The Reds upended the Cardinals 6-1. Nats have recovered. They lead the Milwaukee Brewers 11-8 the score. Play is in the top of the 8th inning. The Padres are up 5-3 against the Phillies. They're in the top of the 9th. The Boston Red Sox with a 4-0 lead over the Baltimore Orioles. Play is in the bottom of the 8th inning. Mets beat the Royals behind Jacob deGrom, who goes to 8-7. He's over 500. 4-1 the final score. The Braves lead the Dodgers 4-3. Play is in the bottom of the 7th inning. Earlier, the New York Yankees defeated the Cleveland Indians 6-5. It was the Cubs behind John Lester blanking Pittsburgh 2-0. Seattle defeated Toronto 4-3. Oakland over Houston 8-4. Minnesota tonight in the top of the 4th inning, leading the Texas Rangers. Good heavens, it's already 8-6. It's 7-3 Colorado over Miami, bottom half of the 6th inning. San Francisco trying to win again in the desert, leading Arizona 6-2, top half of the 5th inning. The Chicago White Sox own a 5-1 advantage over the LA Angels of Anaheim in the 3rd. 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, the game time, the Barnstormers against the York Revolution. John Anderson and Ricky Eusebio are the scheduled starters. Anderson is 8-6 on the year. He has thrown 4 consecutive games in which he has lasted 6 or 7 innings and given up only 1 run. So trying to make it 5 in a row tomorrow afternoon will be John Anderson. Join us for the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout Report at 12:45. The play-by-play action to follow. Barnstormers victorious tonight, 12-3 was the final. And again, the ramification is that the Community Cup will get to stay in Lancaster at least for another 4 weeks. York cannot clinch it here this weekend. The series is 8-4 with 7 left to play between these two ball clubs. So again, join us tomorrow at 12:45. Now for our PR assistant, Joey Greer, for all the cast and crew at Clipper Magazine Stadium, I'm Dave Collins. Have a great rest of your weekend, everyone. And if not tomorrow, then Monday night when the High Point Rockers come in, we'll see you at the ballpark.